Welcome to Ferocious Friday. Actually, on Saturday, we are freaking here. Woo! Fired up, Bobby and Ben together. You guys asked for it.
Welcome to the
many
Ferocious
times.
Optimist
Many
Podcast.
Bump it up. It is Saturday, baby. Saturday. Normally Friday. Friday was great last night. We got Saturday, though.
Welcome
A new
to
pump
the
up.
Ferocious Optimist Podcast.
Fired up, baby. Let them know we're here. Let them know we're here. Let them know that we are here, baby. Put those emoji hands together. Make sure everybody knows that we are up in the house right now, and we're going to have a great time. We got an awesome show. Bobby and I got a lot of stuff to talk about with you guys, okay? And tonight's show is looking like this right here, okay? It is going to be, tonight the focus is going to be on, number one, focus and pain. Okay, and we're going to talk about some life lessons, some life advice. Bobby and I are going to hit on that like we always do. That's our warm-up, right? Act 1. Act 2, we're going to get into Iran, and we're going to get into China and Taiwan. We're going to discuss Ukraine, UAPs. I didn't put all here because I want to see what the results of the poll were, the results of the poll was. But so far right now, China, Taiwan, Ukraine are really taking the lead in a lot of this. And so we're going to go and discuss that. I got like 50 million windows open right now, right here. So we're ready to have, it's going to be a multimedia event with music, sound effects. Bobby's going to be dropping wisdom like he did last week. Two of those clips, Bobby, from last week, man, got like almost, they got like thousands of views from you talking about putting the phone away and some other stuff. So, Bobby, you want to say what's up to everybody?
Yeah, man, what's up, guys? Dude, I fucking hope everybody's feeling good and ready to fucking get some knowledge, man, because I got some things here.
Oh, yeah, he's got some good stuff to pass tonight, some real stuff. So definitely get your notebooks out. You know, we're going to go deep first like we always do with personal development, personal growth, leadership. And we're going to then, dive into the geopolitics and strategy, leadership, decision-making. And then we're going to have a damn good time. I got some funny videos for today, Bobby. I think you're gonna have a good time and enjoy it. So, again, it's Saturday, guys. Let's have some fun. We deserve to laugh. We deserve a great time. Laughter cures a lot of things. And
best medicine in the world.
Yeah, so we're gonna get right into it, and I think probably the first thing we're gonna talk about here is about focus and pain and quitting. But before I do that, I almost forgot. I'm gonna go ahead and say what's up to everybody in the audience real quick. Here we got Lady Ann. What's going on out there? Mark, what's happening? Lisa's what's going on? Good to have you. Juan Wick, what's up, brother? Good to have you there. Six's mom, welcome. Aloha from Kauai. Mark, what's happening? Let me see who else we got here. Got everybody there. All right, awesome. Great to have you guys. And we are rocking and rolling. We had a great time last time. Today's going to be even better, if I dare say that. I want to go ahead and open up with a big round of applause right now for the best chat in YouTube. You guys put your hands together, emoji hands together for you guys. You guys were doing such a great job. I appreciate you all the way, all your support through everything, through thick and thin. And we are at 6,000 subscribers today. We made the breakthrough, so that is absolutely awesome. We made a breakthrough to 6,000 subscribers, so excited about that. And we're going to go ahead and put our emoji hands together for all our members and all our new members, too. All right. Hey, guys, let YouTube know we're here. Let them know that we are here and we are up and running. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you let everybody know. If you think they're going to get something out of this, definitely tell them what's up. Tell them, hey, we are live right now. Get in here. Tonight's going to be a freaking good time. If you haven't been here for a live on a Friday before, Saturday is the new Friday, okay? Ferocious Fridays is now going to be, something crazy, Psycho Saturday or something like that. But it's going to be a good time, okay? So we're going to talk about leadership, personal development, personal growth in the beginning. Act 2 is going to be geopolitics and strategy. And the third act is going to be our comedy time, our satire. We're going to have a great time cutting it up. And last of all, I want to give another big round of applause for our platinum members out there. Appreciate you guys and all the support and all the gifts you guys give and all that. So big round of applause for everybody's support. Thank you so much. All right, let's get this thing going. Let's do it. What do you say, Bobby? You ready to rock and roll?
Dude, I was born ready.
Awesome. I know that, man. Hey, you want to tell them where they can find you, where they can link up with you and follow you?
Yeah, so, I've kind of slowed down on social media just because they rage bait me with thumbnails.
Right.
When they do that, I help them by going and commenting. So you can find me on X I'll come on every week, update you on some stuff I've got going on over there. Everybody knows exactly why I'm there and what I've done. Instagram has gotten to be a lot better to me. Facebook, you can hit me up. It's more private. It's more for my family members and whatnot. But do that. I have a podcast channel that's in the middle of it right now. I had a little setback, but I'm going to definitely have this out this week. Edited.
Awesome.
And y'all come out and see me. And I'm talking about we can get into it as far back as y'all want to go. And I want to do a day of education for everybody that wants to actually find information on your own. I'd rather you find it on your own and be interested than me hand it to you.
I love it. Bobby's the guy to do that too.
Toolbox, though.
You know what's interesting? Jake said, he's like, Bobby's like borderline genius, and he's like a genius in some of these things. I said, I know, man. And so that's a compliment from Jake there, from the work you do. Bobby provides like documents, links,
Jake, man,
all this
because
stuff. Jake's a good dude. He couldn't make it tonight, but he'll be here next week.
I love me some Jake, man, and I'll say this because he will call me and be like, "You're not crazy," and I'm like, "Thank you."
Nah, you always have good stuff, man. But guys, make sure you follow Bobby over on Instagram, and then we're gonna check him out when his podcast comes up. Make sure we all get on there. All right, well, let's get right into this thing. We're gonna fire it up. One more little song to get us pumped up and rock and roll. Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah! Getting to our first topic here. All right, pump it up, everybody. Get fired up. Put those emoji hands together. Let everybody know we're here. Get the algorithm going.
Let the energy ignite. Take it
Pump
to
it up,
the
baby.
red line. Raise the pressure, raise the tide.
Jake said it's like a rave in here,
Raise
Bobby.
the pressure, raise the tide. Raise it up.
Raise it up, baby. Fire it up. All
you
right.
never see anybody sad at a rave, do you?
No, exactly. It's funny, but yeah, Jake was like last night. He was like, "This place like a rave. That show is like a rave. You do. Your show's a rave." All right, guys, we're gonna start out with this about focus. Okay, so Bobby and I were talking about this a little bit earlier today, but a report out there is that more young adults today are reporting trouble with memory and focus today. I know it's something that probably many of us have seen, but I want to discuss this, and I want to talk about what do we think this is? Where is it coming from? Surely I know it's also because of the phones. People are saying because young people today have so much digital access. Like Bobby was saying, a lot of things given to them from the phones. I think sometimes they get overwhelmed because there's so much information. But I'm going to read a little bit of this, okay? Get everyone dialed in. In 2023, more than 7% of adults without depression self-reported this type of cognitive disability, inability to focus and having trouble with their memory, okay? That figure's up from just 5% a decade earlier, researchers report September 24th in Neurology, okay? So the uptick started in 2016. The rise is primarily driven by younger adults ages 18 to 39 for whom the prevalence of cognitive disability has nearly doubled to almost 10%. Okay, so Bobby, I want to jump right into this and ask you, what do you think is going on with this?
I think people are confused. And I say that because it's easier to get online and follow a personality that you like.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a buffet line of what you want the world to be.
Yeah.
And nobody. I want to say this year when they checked they were saying that this is the first year, or last year was the first year that our schools have actually regressed as far as our learning abilities.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I remember when it first started, and I just want to explain this. I said, people don't all learn the same way.
Yeah.
And they want you to, but it's like the world needs all kinds. Okay, and that's what I explained. I was like, when I was in school, they pressed college on everybody. You had to go, or you're going to dig ditches.
That's right.
So they told me, and I was like, I guess I'm going to dig the fuck out of a ditch, because
right.
And it's not that I can't do the work; it doesn't interest me. Most of your people, and I'm like Jake as well. I'm math and science guy. I'll write you a long ass sentence though.
Right.
Just every now and then I'll throw a semicolon in there or something,
Yeah.
because I'm
but
writing out the way my mind's talking. And I just believe that kids now, they don't have imagination. Like, you don't have to. And AI, I want to say, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It is a great way to put together documents for studying, as long as you know where your information's coming from.
Yeah, that's what your point was before. You're like, you got to learn how to find the information. I mean, AI is a great tool to assist you.
What's the number one fucking thing when you search something that's on top? The very first one that everybody clicks, Wikipedia.
Right. What if they're wrong?
Wikipedia can be edited by anybody.
Yeah. What if it's not right?
That's the point.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
it sounds like an encyclopedia.
Right.
And you go to the bottom of the page, it'll tell you the sources where they got their information from. And you'll start seeing, I'm like, National Enquirer, and you're like,
yeah,
this is all bullshit.
Yeah, it's not the best, not the most reliable sources. But guys, put in the chat too what you guys think, because I want to make sure that we're tracking with you guys and input as well. We're gonna be pretty damn interactive tonight with everyone, and so I want to see. Put your thoughts in the chat. Let us know what you guys are thinking about all this, and definitely gonna get into that. So,
and I want to go to the focus with you, because I'm actually wanting to hear your advice, because I need that advice.
Yeah, well, let's do that, because I mean, I think I'll give my 2 cents on this, and then we'll jump right into the focus as well too, because I think that's a really important one. But I think the memory and focus. Talk about I think the cell phones, like you said, not using technology properly, getting lazy. With certain things. I think not trying to do hard things and challenge yourself. All those things are true. But, as far as focus goes, and like Bobby and I were talking about this earlier, guys, you put it in the chat, tell me what you think. But actually, give me a 1 in the chat if you guys have ever experienced a problem with focus. Because I want to see. We're all back here together tonight. And give me a 1 in the chat if you ever experienced anything with focus. And, I'll put a 1 in the chat right now for myself.
Yeah, because, hell, give me one.
I'm putting my 1 in the chat right now, Bobby. But and so here's the thing that I would say with focus, okay? I would say this, that when you don't know your priorities, like really clearly know your priorities, you're gonna have a problem with focus, okay? I see that Matt's put it, Seb's put it, yep, Lady Ann. Awesome, Justin, I'm glad. Thanks, man. Appreciate you subbing. Jonathan, Juan Wick, Lisa, Matt Byrne, yeah, all problem with focus. I hear you, because when we don't know our priorities, okay, like really clearly, then it's easy to make everything a priority. And if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. You know what I mean? And so take, for example, we discussed the Iran war. We talk about that. You have to define clearly the strategic objectives and what you're actually working for. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen is that you go after a million different targets and it doesn't get done what you wanted to get done. You know what I mean? So that would be the first thing I'd say, Bobby. What do you think? Like, what do you feel? Sometimes there's like target saturation, right? There's so many things you could do.
Yeah. Or we'll say, I'll tell you my problem is I'll have a lull in the middle of a project. So while I have that downtime, I'll pick up another project. And the next thing I know, I've got 6 projects that are 50% done.
Right.
That's real, man. That are like, hey, you're gonna have that done today, and it's like, I got you, man. And I work on this until I run out of stuff, and I run over here, And I'm like, I'm never fucking finishing anything, but I've got 5 or 6 projects that are at 90% almost. Yeah,
I hear you, man. I've been there, dude. I've been there. I think a big thing. So a couple things. You got to put first things first, and if let's say if you're in a situation like Bobby, and you've got like multiple projects going. And each of them, let's say, are they're all important, but they're deconflicted by time. So you can say, Project 1 is due, I'm just going to make this up, December 1st. Project 2 is due June 2027. Project 3, September, 2027. If you can deconflict by time, it's okay to have multiple projects, because then you're focusing your energy and power on one thing at a time. Guys, the power of focus is what makes a laser beam powerful, right? So I think it's so important. Hey, Six Mom, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So on here, we normally we hit the super chats right away on my show on the Friday and Saturday, so we're not going to wait for it. I'm going to say thank you right away and respond to you here. in the tradition of the show. Until it gets as crazy as Nate's, then maybe I'll do it at the end. But we do this.
I tried to watch some of it.
It's a lot. Hey, we're going to do a round of
It was a
applause
lot.
real quick for Six's mom right now. All right, everybody put the emoji hands together. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. I'm going to read this out loud real quick here. Six's mom said, they talk themselves into having third world problems. You're not wrong. I'll tell you, having being a dad myself, living in the first world. Yep, they talk themselves into having third world problems. And Bobby, I want to get your take on this. Living in the first world. They think the only thing important is being an internet star. Aloha. Aloha is right. Well, you hit it right on the head. Bobby, what do you think about that?
That's pretty on the head, because you've got 1,000 guys on here that are using their background, their past, and it's like,
Yep.
you follow these steps, you'll be just like me.
Yeah.
But we always forget, when we're sitting in comfort, it's easy to obtain. Everybody can go be a fucking Marine Raider in comfort at the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? It sounds like
They don't see the
great
backstory.
idea.
They don't see the backstory of all the crap.
Oh,
man.
no.
$12
That's what
in your
like,
checking
you get to
account,
see-
you know.
You get to see a 30-second highlight of years of grueling, just
Right.
beat your body to death, boring
Yeah.
classes, fucking.
Yeah, boring class.
I mean, just trying to stay awake was a chore.
I mean,
So-
here's the thing, like paratrooper like Bobby, the jumps, man, the compression, a lot of, it's tough stuff.
And they're
dude.
hard jumps, so they're not like
Yeah.
what people think. And I
Right.
tell people, I said, dude, it's declassified now. And I always say this because people want to say, oh, the 82nd hasn't jumped since that. I said, no, we have. Y'all just don't know about it.
Right.
2003 on the Pakistan border with the Rangers, we jumped in to do a fucking high value target over there.
No kidding, man.
Yep.
No kidding.
They declassified it, I want to say about 2070, like 15 years to get it declassified.
That must have been nuts, though. Was it low level drop too?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
they-
500 foot.
Oh my God, you guys were bouncing off the ground, dude.
Oh, the worst ones I've ever had, I'll be honest with you. And I jumped out of the damn plane because I thought it was a crash. Was with the Aussies.
Okay.
And they had me in a like a Cessna.
Nice.
And they're like, and I'm like, dude, pull the choke on this motherfucker like something. I'm
I'm getting
out.
out of here. I'm getting out of here. Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
I
had some gnarly times. Go ahead,
And I had
sorry.
all
You were?
the Sky Shark, you know the Sky Shark?
Yeah. Someone right above you, right?
Oh, dude, he's got the fin on his helmet. He's coming across, taking out the whole company.
It's
I mean,
freaking nuts.
so when you do a mass exit, they have the timing staggered so the guys don't collide under the plane.
Yeah.
When we do a mass attack, the sky will just be filled with paratroopers.
Holy crap.
I mean, they drop the whole battalion all at once, just coming
Yeah.
across.
Mass tech, right? You call it mass
Right.
tech?
But if you get a guy that loses his nerve at the door for a minute, now you're going out the door, just believe that.
They're going to kick you, right?
You damn right they will. Both feet. You're going out
That's
that door.
wild.
But he messes up the timing.
Yeah.
So I had a guy do that on the other side, and we collided under the plane.
No.
And he freaks out and goes to grab it.
No.
And he pulls my weapons case off of me.
No.
And the lanyard
What?
wrapped around his risers.
No.
So
What?
he oscillated under me and stole all my air.
Holy crap.
So I fall. And then
No.
then I get the air and he falls. Well,
What?
he got the last bit of air and I got the last 50 feet.
Oh, you're kidding me, dude.
Oh man, I hit the ground so hard. And it was one of those
Holy
ones, if you
crap.
need to jump, the first thing you want to do is piss.
What in the hell, man?
Oh, it was rough. That, and I seen guys drug across when the wind catch their chute when they hit
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, drag you like. I've seen guys get fucked up bad over the dragging.
Yeah, I can imagine. Holy crap.
They had to change the knots, like, because it was so bad in Iraq. The first trip, the Rangers were jumping in over there, and people were trying to give Shrek a hard time because he didn't remember the year correctly. I'm like, dude, it's 40 years ago,
Yeah.
But those guys were all getting broken legs because, jump,
Yeah.
you're going.
We got
Yeah, we're here.
Bobby, we got a Carolina girl saying Granddad was 82nd Airborne in Korea War.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Night Recon Nam. Nice. There we go. Oh, yeah.
Y'all want to get us some real
Awesome.
history back there? Y'all go check out the 11th Airborne, and they jumped into the Philippines down there. and fought their way up.
Man. Is that World War II?
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff, dude. I lived in the
Oh, I
Philippines.
mean,
I
that
lived there
China
for a
would be
year.
big Japan right now if it wasn't for us.
We're gonna get into some China later. We're gonna get into some China later for sure.
All the China you want.
Oh, all right, awesome. We're gonna get into that, guys. I appreciate it. And again, thanks to Six's mom. I appreciate the support there, and thank you very much. And getting back on this, though, to your point too, and like what Bobby's saying, like they don't want to know about this stuff he just talked about. They want to see cool ninja stuff or be badass, not realizing you're gonna have some terrifying moments that you can't control, and then also have some hardship, real boring stuff, and then really hard stuff that just isn't fun. So I think what we see is people see the Act 3, they see Act 10, Chapter 10. They don't see the build up. You see me now doing this. You see Bobby. You see Nate. You see Jake, Aaron, all these guys. 20 years later, after they've crushed themselves, to get where they are, and so. The biggest thing I would say, and again, going into focus, so you got to write down your goals. Okay, I don't care if you're 20, if you're 40, if you're 60, if you're 80, whatever you are, okay, or if you're 15, right? Write your goals down. Have a vision. And then what you got to do is you got to decide where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I even visualize all the way up to 20 years. Backwards plan and decide then, well, where do I have to be 5 years from now? And then to get there in 5 years, what do I have to do and have done? What skills, what knowledge, what do I have to do this year? And then what do I have to do to get there in the 1 year marker over the next 3 months? And you got to write these down and be specific, be measurable, make them achievable, make them, doable today, and put a due date on them. Okay. SMART goals, they call that.
And you can get a lot from your elders. Yeah. And I tell people, I'm like, when I was younger, I thought I was smart. I can remember my dad telling me, gas can be $5 a gallon one day, Joe. And I'm just like, he's lost his mind,
Right.
I've never, he's never told me one thing I can remember 30 years ago plus that it did not come true. He knew.
Right. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Because it's a cycle. We repeat cycles.
Yeah, we do. Hey, what's up, Nick? I see you out there. What's going on, Nick? Helter Zeltzer. Good to have you. Yeah, we do for sure. Well, let's get in this next little question. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight and a lot of ground to cover. Let me see here. So here's another one. This pertains right to what you're saying, Bobby, and what Six's mom was saying. What if I quit halfway through? Like, what if my habit is to quit halfway through, or I'm afraid of starting something new? What if that's your thing?
You're setting your ambitions too high based off somebody else.
Tell me more about that.
Because you're seeing what this influencer's doing.
Yeah.
And you don't know how long they've been doing it. Like
That's
Jake
true.
whipped out some pottery like I ain't never seen, dude, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But he told me how much time he spent learning that.
Yeah.
And I bet he fucked up a lot of stuff at the beginning. So don't put your expectations at that level.
Very true.
You have to get there.
Yeah.
And I always say, and I preach this to everybody I talk to, the soldiers I work with, my kids, and I tell them, I don't care if it looks like shit, just finish it.
That's it. That's
Get
it.
to the end.
That's it. And I'll say this too. If you have a natural pause in something where you're waiting on something, so something for everybody, for all you guys out there in the audience, most of that I'm an executive coach, right? I work with founders and owners of companies. I work with rising leaders. I have different tiers. I've got my monthly group coaching membership, which I had earlier today with my members, and they can replay it when they want to as well too. And then I have my inner circle, which is a weekly mastermind. And then I have my one-on-one coaching clients. So my point being is that I work with a lot of people on a lot of projects from, entrepreneurs in, you name it, whatever industry. And I've seen things where, you're waiting for licensing to come through. You're waiting for the product to get finished. You're waiting for the book to be written. You're waiting for, I recently had a filmmaker, writer, actor, filmmaker, who's waiting for funding. The film's ready to go. The script is good, and it's just all these things. And so there's going to be a period of time, and you need to think about what are the things I can do now while I'm waiting for that to come in that will support the activities I have to do. That will, A, build up my energy, B, make the environment right for me to succeed, okay, C, boost up my mindset, okay, make sure that I'm staying in practice, all these things like that, so that you don't get stuck so you don't stop halfway. Because if you're stopping things halfway, usually I'm going to tell you, sometimes there's procrastination effect that's impacting you too. Procrastination is a derivative of fear. All right. I've said this so many times on many stages. I've said everything you ever wanted is through fear. Everything you've ever wanted is when you go through fear. You got to go through fear to get there. So, Bobby, what are your thoughts there?
I mean, I actually go and listen to you on these things because
I appreciate it, man.
well, yeah, because I mean, you've been to a higher level, and understand what these, successful people have to do, and I 1,000% agree with you about planning, and I like to plan from the rear full back.
Yes.
Reverse
right.
planning.
Yep, that's it.
And when I was a superintendent for the pipeline, guys cannot understand what I was doing when I was setting out the job up. And I was like, it'll come together in the end, and it'll be faster and more efficient. And
can you tell everybody about backwards planning?
One more small thing of that.
Can you tell everybody what backwards planning is and why we do that?
So basically, you have an end goal. This is where we got to go. Okay, so then I got to go backwards. Okay, what do I got to do to get this done? What do I got to have to get this done? All the way back to the initial start of the game. All right, and then I lay it all out. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at how do I not have to move things repetitively, because I see guys will get these jobs started and they have it all in one central location.
Yeah.
And they have to move it and touch it. When you do that, it's burning efficiency. It's burning fuel. It's burning hours. I tell people, like, you got 100 guys on a job. Every
Begin
hour
with
is
the end in
100
mind.
hours.
Begin with the end in mind too. You have to. General Mattis used to talk about this chaos, right? Secretary Mattis for Trump's first administration. He would talk about you need to image your way through the battlefield, like Bobby's saying. If you know this is the end result, well, then what are the steps between here and there that I'm going to have to do? I'm going to plan from this is the result I want, and then backwards plan. You know who does that too? Tom Cruise talks about that. They asked him, how did you ever do that big stunt, the crazy, jump with the motorcycle, free fall? He said, I've been thinking of that for 10 years, and I thought, what are the skills I need to achieve to do that? And it took him 7 or 8 years to achieve the skills, and then he practiced for a couple of years until he could do it multiple times. But either free fall, base jumper, motorcycle, motocross guy, all these skills he needed. It's no different. But Bobby's saying is that if you're building a house, let's say, and you put your material like down the street, that's probably not going to be the right logistical place for it, right?
Well,
like a
so
military
when you're spreading
operation.
something out over miles, you only know the distances. So why not stage your next set of pipe at the end of each one?
Yeah.
As they're dumping it, so you don't have to tote it with you.
Right. It's 100%.
And that's what I would tell them. Like, go to this far of a section, put my guys another, however many feet we got to have there.
Right.
And then go when that trailer gets here. I want it down at that end. And everybody was just like, "Why do you do this?" I was like, "Because I don't like touching and I don't like reworking." So
That's right. I hear you, man. I hear you. We got a question down there. How do we get from Mattis to Hegseth? Well,
Hegseth
yeah, I think I'll say one quick thing. They're different cats, and President Trump had different requirements. You know what I mean? General Mattis is in a world of his own, right? He's a class of his own, hyper experienced, unbelievable. But
has he ever fired around?
That's what. Well, he's let. I would tell you he has been under serious fire, and his PSD had a high casualty rate. I know that for a fact. He was under a lot of fire.
The only issue I ever had with him was.
Well, let me just finish real quick. No problem. Let me finish real quick because I just want to say the Hegseth part real quick. I'm gonna turn it to you, and I know you got something good to say. I just think with Hegseth, and we talked about this last time, right, Bob? We talked about his leadership style and saying that what he's doing is not easy because he's pretty relatively young guy for that position and pretty relatively, I guess inexperienced, I would say, for what is required. So he's having to lead the way he knows how to lead, which is in your face, talking, being supportive, trying to be with the troops. And that's not easy. It's hard. He's not hiding from all the conflict. He's not hiding from conflict. He's not hiding from being in front of the troops, in front of the generals and talking to them. So he's under a tremendous amount of pressure. You know what I mean? They're different animals for sure. I mean, but if you want to win a war and you want to win it tomorrow, you put Mattis in there. You give him the forces, he'll do it. I mean, he knows what to do. But go ahead, Bob.
The thing is with Hegseth, and I explain this. Everybody has this idea that Trump and them are running this war. They don't. The Joint Chiefs do.
Yeah.
That's who tells them
combatant
what
commanders.
To do.
Yeah.
You know, Hegseth is the face.
Yep.
And the podium speaker. You know, they'll say Hegseth did this or Hegseth did that, but he's taking his advice from the heads of every military organization.
For sure, the combatant commanders. Those are the 4-stars, like Admiral Cooper in CENTCOM. He's the called a COCOM. So when you hear a COCOM, that's a combatant commander. They actually are the ones who like fight with the forces. They're given the forces. They report right to the Secretary of Defense, and they're only one step away from the president. Basically, these are the guys and gals, you know, in that case, who have the most power in the world. Like they used to say, the PACOM commander, Pacific Command commander, was the equivalent of like a Roman proconsul back in ancient Rome. Like commanded half the world's power, basically.
The last CENTCOM commander, and he had already. He was. I mean, he needed to be. It's time for him to retire. But he was one of my heroes, and I didn't literally like very many officers, but I had to do a couple. I lucked out, and my company commander that I had was a former Marine, enlisted infantry.
Oh, okay, Mustang officer.
So he would be out there smoking lieutenants. You know, he was something else, man. But he's a war fighter. You know, so he understood both sides of it.
Yeah, for sure.
know?
For sure.
And
so
Kurilla is who I was talking about, was the CENTCOM commander.
Yeah.
And he took out Iran the first time.
Right.
You know,
right.
and he's recently retired, but I told people, I said, he's been around since Panama. He's been shot 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
As a lieutenant colonel.
Yeah.
You know, he fought himself in the streets of Mosul with his men and took 3 rounds.
Right.
The femur. And that's probably one of the craziest shit I've ever seen. Michael Yon took the photos. Remember, he got in a lot of trouble because he picked up a rifle as a correspondent and was defending the fucking lieutenant colonel.
He's going to get overrun. You better do something. He's
a correspondent. They're saying he's neutral.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, not in those people's eyes. That's a different ball game.
Was the command sergeant major, and he beat that man with his hands to death.
It's intense stuff, man.
Dude,
I know exactly what you're talking about. You sent me an article on that, didn't you?
Yeah, this was in
2004
Mosul.
Yeah, I think you sent an article to me a while ago on that.
Command sergeant
but you know what I want to say too
is
is
dragging his body.
Right. I'm intense stuff, man. There's some people with some stories out there. They're nuts. You know, I always say that, like, there's so many people out there who've done so many crazy things, and
just,
you know,
we're
so representatives.
To see a lieutenant colonel on the ground with his men.
Yeah.
Like not drinking coffee in the rear. He was out there physically engaging.
Yeah, in the Marine Corps, that's how it is, man. The Marine Corps is a lot of that. My 1st Battalion commander out there, John Mayer, CO of 1-4, 2 combat tours. He was like right in the mix with everybody, and I heard stories about him with shotguns and stuff. And but anyway,
the early GWAT
dovetailing away from this real quick.
Yeah, I know. I just want to bring up the early GWAT, and people got to grasp this.
Yeah.
With the last administration, how many senior NCOs and stuff did we lose over COVID shots? And you got to replace that experience.
Yeah.
So people and officers do their job, NCOs do their job.
Yeah.
You know, he trains the men,
I was out by then. I was out by the time the COVID hit, so I didn't have to deal with that nut roll.
It just bothered me because, you know, they're talking about Trump getting rid of this person, that person, and I go and look into the real reasons they're removed. And it's,
I mean, he's also the president, and he can do, you know, it's like the head coach of football team. They remove people.
We're having such a giant turnaround from what we had become.
Yeah.
It's becoming what I remember.
Interesting.
And those were war fighters, man. I'm gonna tell you that first GWAT group.
Yeah, I think it's good for people to hear though too, a different perspective, because we hear so many perspectives of you know, oh, we're firing everybody and all this stuff like that. And yes, it's concerning, especially when a guy like Admiral McCraven brings it up. But I mean, at my pay grade, everybody, I mean, you know, retired lieutenant colonel, you know, I just know in the Marine Corps, like, you serve at the pleasure of the president, and he doesn't need a reason why. I mean, honestly, that's how it is. Now, the concern is that we lose we lose leadership. We lose, people who can really do a great job for our country, strategists, all these things like that. Get your best candidate advice. But at the same time, we have a force where we are producing leaders, and there's always someone on deck. There's always a second string, third string, who are very, very good. I wouldn't say just as good because they don't have the same experience, but they will grow into it, and the Secretary of Defense and the President got to do what they got to do. But pivoting from this question real quick, because here's a question I have. So what if this being said, it kind of fits into it. What if you are afraid of starting something new? We talked about if someone who quits halfway through something, but what if I guess the point would be some of these people that are getting relieved and getting replaced. What if you're afraid to start something new? What would you tell someone who's afraid to start something new, Bobby?
Worst thing, it can't kill you.
That's true.
That's always what I tell everybody. I'm like, when somebody tells me, man, I'd love to go to Florida one day, and I'm like, why can't you?
Yeah, right.
What's restraining you?
Right.
And they'll make up minuscule excuses. I'm like, go get in the car and drive to fucking Florida.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to do.
Part of it is too, they make it so big. They make this like a mountain out of a molehill. And instead of conducting your recon first, the first thing you got to do is you got to do reconnaissance. You got to go there, check it out, learn about it, go into your studies and observations and see, is this actually something I want to do, or is it just a little dream I had and I don't realize? You got to get the information.
A struggle is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when you figure that thing out, it's like,
Yeah, it's true. Your confidence goes through the roof. Hey, put a 1 in the chat. Everybody in the chat, give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever been afraid to start something new. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever been afraid to start something new. It's something that you were looking at. Maybe it was a business. Yeah, maybe it was a fitness program. Maybe it's a move. Like Bobby said, I'll tell you, moving is scary. A lot of money, a lot of sunken costs. Once you move, you don't know if you can generate the money to move back if you want to. You might be stuck there for a while. So there's a lot of concerns. I understand what he's saying, but can you do it? Of course you can do it. I'm going to put my own 1 in the chat. I've been there.
Hell, I put a bunch of them because when I go to, you'll get all the information, because anytime somebody is telling you something for free, people guard good things, if that makes sense. Like, if they got a gold mine somewhere, they're not sharing that information with you. And I hate to sound that way, but they're not, because they don't want you getting in that piece of pie. They want to see you do good, just not better than them.
Yeah, that's very true, man. That's very true. You see that all the time, too. One thing I will tell you, just on an offshoot of that, too, Bobby, and for everybody, I've always said, people will always talk about, and this is something pertains to you and me, what we talked about earlier, but people will always talk about people who are there for them when they're down. But I will say this, it's very important, obviously, but you got to see if the same people are there for you when you're up, because sometimes people get jealous. A true friend is there for you in both cases. True friend celebrates your wins, is there to help you when you're down, when you're losing too. I've seen that before, though. When you start winning, they don't want to celebrate with you. They're not upset because it holds a mirror up to them and what they're not doing. So, just food for thought on that.
I want to say something I told somebody one time, and I just want y'all to put this in perspective, because everybody sees, like we said, the sexy videos and the one for the airborne ranger in the sky, and they got music going and da 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 da. Yeah. And they're, when you come home, people want to ask a million questions, and they're just like, man, I wish I'd have done that. You know what? I wish I had your life. I wish I got to see my kids born. I wish I got to see them walk. I was like, the things y'all dream about are the things we want.
Right.
So there's a big sacrifice that goes in there, but somebody's got to do it.
Yep. Very true. And we were chosen. We chose to do it. And, and I had a slip there. We were chosen. But we chose to do it.
Protectors.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you, to your point, Bobby, one of the hardest things ever I had to do, bar none, was I remember, I got 2 boys, 2 sons. I'm going on a combat tour, leaving for combat. It's at a nasty time over there. And we talked about this yesterday. We were losing 100 people per month. 100 people each month in Iraq between 2004 to 2006. It was nuts. And city fighting. I was going over there. I remember seeing my son. He was like, think he was 4 or 5 at the time, my oldest, and just leaving him in my car, and him just hugging his little stuffed animal, put his head on. He looked at me, and he knew this is like another combat tour. I'm going away, and I remember this feeling gripping me. And I'll tell you that it's that is something, man, that sticks with me, is stuck with me. That's probably the hardest thing to do. Everything else, I was ready for, wanted to do it. There, obviously some scary things that happened out there too.
I mean,
but
you got to go.
That's the worst
meet
one.
you.
That's the worst part.
I tell you, I'm like, I was there at the same time you're talking about 03, 04, like, we'd been in Fallujah already. That was the handoff because the Marines had armor and everything. We're out there light infantry guys. Trying to man this place the best we can with 300 people. And then I went into South Baghdad off Highway 1 in Falcon, and I've been down Haifa. I mean, I got a call on the radio that Zarqawi is spotted in your sector.
Oh, dude, that's when I was there too. Yeah,
And I was
we were on
like,
the hunt for
this
him.
was in Dora.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we're going to get him.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, and looking back at it now, and I'm like, man, we might have got fucked up, like.
Well, dude, if everybody understands how savage
those guys were down to clown.
Zarqawi was the precursor to ISIS. He was the father of ISIS, basically, the founder.
He scared terrorists.
He scared Bin Laden. Bin Laden, when we were there,
they couldn't control
the task force was hunting down ISIS and hunting down Zarqawi. AQIZ, they called it, Al-Qaeda in Iraq, and he was the leader of it. Bin Laden sent him a letter that I guess was intercepted by U.S. intelligence, basically saying, you're doing too much. You're killing everyone. You're not just killing our enemies. You're mass destruction. He basically told Bin Laden to go screw off. And what his plan was totally flipping the table, killing everyone, destroying everything, starting the Islamic State. And that's how they came up with the idea.
The Juba ordeal, that propaganda machine they had going,
Yeah.
I felt so bad seeing these young guys out there in static positions.
Right.
Because
right.
they're fixing to get smoked.
Right.
And that was a propaganda machine that I think he got accredited with like 130 kills. But I want to say we believe it was more than one person. A Marine Force Recon guy killed him, In the movies, Chris Kyle did it. But AJ Pashuti really killed him and kept his mouth quiet all those years.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. I mean, it's funny because I remember, not to go into all these these things, but I knew a Marine sniper from he was in Fallujah, came from 1-4, and right before we left, he transferred over, I think, to 3-1, and like in like not even one day, it was like 5 hours of fighting, he killed like 30 something dudes. His spotter was doing his bolt, still a bolt action rifle. That's how fast he was shooting, killing people. And you never hear the story. You'll never hear the story. We talk about all these, all these people, and it's like, this dude just went away in the darkness. And
I remember both those, and I told everybody, dude, the second one, the Marines didn't get beat in the first one either. They got politically pulled out.
Right.
And I told everybody, I said, they didn't beat, they got political.
Oh, when Mattis was there. Yeah, for that.
The first time.
Yeah.
I said, but when they went back the second time, they put out leaflets and information to leave the city. So now the RO&E is, if you're still in the city, you are a combatant. And they had a guy, and they had a grudge, buddy. There's 50,000 buildings in that town, that city.
Yeah.
They leveled 30,000 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unprecedented.
Yeah, there are a lot of crazy stories out there, and that's why I always tell people, I'm like, look, we're on here representing all these people, and they're people who've done some tough, crazy stuff, and you'll never hear their stories. Like, you think about Major Jim Capers was just given the Medal of Honor. You think about,
Paris Davis.
Yeah, just given the Medal of Honor, right? And Force Recon, no one ever heard the stories, and we're like, our Force Recon community was like pushing. He finally got it. Same thing with what's his name? Colonel Ripley, Bridget Dong Ha, crazy stuff, hand over hand under the bridge with explosives in his mouth, but crimping the blasting caps with his teeth. Gets the Medal of Honor. Again, you don't hear the story. It's like
Father Capodanno.
Crazy stuff, man. But
the chaplain the only chaplain to win the Medal of Honor.
That's nuts too. That's
Marine chaplain, dude, on the front line.
Yep.
and I listened to some guys that interacted with him, and they said it was like the hand of God reaching down and snatching me up out of a
Wow.
hole.
Wow.
And it's Father Capodanno.
Wow. That must have been.
And when he was finally
crazy.
killed,
Wow.
because he would run out and distract the enemy with
Yeah.
no weapon.
With himself.
Yep, and he put himself between a machine gunner, a lieutenant with a medic, and he got shot 27 times in the back standing over him.
Oh man. Hey Nick, I see you in there. Helter Zeltzer Fallujah being a party town now is pretty crazy. That's wild. I didn't know that.
Dude, everybody told me that used to be the spot back in the day, like to go party was Iraq. They're like, go party in Iraq, dude.
What?
And we ruined
This is
it. Like, we
nuts.
just ruined that shit.
It's nuts, man. That is nuts. That is nuts.
I
But
got some Iraq that's going to go into some of our stuff tonight because it's important.
yeah, we're going to talk about some Iran, some Iraq, and all that in a little bit here. And this is our, like I said, this is our, our personal development, leadership time. Talk about these things. But if you're afraid to do something, guys, I want you to think about this. And just from my own life, from Bobby's own life, when you have fear, okay, there are a couple reasons we have fear. Number one is you're afraid of being judged or criticized, okay? And if you're judged and criticized, because you're afraid you're not good at it. If you're not good at it, you get judged and criticized. If you get judged and criticized, then you won't have respect. You won't be in the tribe. You won't have, the community that you have around you, because we need it. As human beings, we're social animals, okay? And that's closely linked to the fear of death, and the fear of death is the fear of psychological isolation, okay? It's usually one of these things. Like you're afraid of, everything, failing, and then what are people going to say about you? Or you're afraid of separating, being away from what you know. That's why, for example, like Bobby's case, like, the example he gave, someone not wanting to move. But you do your research. How do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time. You backwards plan, okay? Backwards planning. See the vision. Yeah, this is why I'm saying you have to have a vision. You got to have a vision of what do you really want. Don't edit yourself. I give you permission right now to unlock your imagination and decide to say, you know what? I'm going to just imagine. I'm going to give myself permission to imagine this thing I want to do, I want to be, I want to have, okay, who I want to build myself into. And then backwards plan. Say, well, if I do that, what do I need to do next? Or what do I need to do to get there? And then where do I need to be a year from now to be that much closer? And then where do I need to be 3 months from now to set myself up for that 1 year, to set myself up for the 5 years? If you do all that stuff, you put in the hard work, guys, you are going to make freaking progress. This is how it is, okay? And then you got to stay focused on it. This is why we talk about the focus. And one of the big things at the tactical level, I deal with my clients, my members, and in my coaching membership, and we talk about all the time on the channel here, is this. You got to pick one thing every day. Get one thing every day. The small actions matter. I try to create a science of success, okay? Not, I'm saying like not I'm the end all be all or something great, all that stuff, but Bobby and I have done some scary things. We've done some hard things, some stuff I was afraid of. I see some Marines in the audience here, guys talking about people wanting to go to boot camp, not wanting to jump out of airplanes, not wanting to do whatever, right? When you have those scary things, when you knock out one task at a time, one day at a time, finish one day, right? Finish one training. Study and learn more about it. All these things take you closer, and eventually you pile up so many small things that it becomes huge momentum. And then you start seeing, you're like, holy crap, man, I can do this. I think I can do this. I'm doing this. Next thing you know, you did it. It's in your rearview mirror. What do you think, Bobby?
When, I watch your page when, Memorial Day and stuff comes around, and and I just see your man on there, and it's like, I'm like, and his downtime, does he think about he should have done something different or something like that?
Yeah.
Like the burden you have to carry as a leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, man.
Ultimately, there's no way to always be right. Or, like I say, sometimes the rabbit's got the gun,
Yeah.
and especially when you're playing on their turf.
Right.
So,
Right.
And you talk about fear, and I tell everybody, I was like, I can remember the first time I actually felt real fear, but I had to go anyway. And
That's
I was
right.
like, and as being a NCO at the time with a team, and those young guys, and I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me, but I had to keep that stone face on because they would break if they saw me worried.
That's the mask of command.
And that was the scariest night of my whole life.
Mm.
And I stayed out for 3 days. The command said, do not come back without those bodies. Like, we had some guys get taken And he said, we want bodies. We're, and the battalion commander the same way. Bring them, kill them, put them on your truck, bring them here.
Yeah.
And when I got done with that deal, it took 3 days. And I remember walking in and taking my vest off and just dropping it. It was like the world come off my shoulders. Like, I can't express to people. I said, I can smell the air. Like, it's not a reality until it happens to you.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody
That's
thinks
right.
they can do this or that. And I was like, the best way that I can put it is, how many times have you drove past a car on the interstate that you knew people and they were dead? You know, there's EMS. That's a just awful crash.
Yeah.
It didn't affect you. You forgot about it by the next exit.
Right.
But somebody's
Right.
whole world changed.
Someone's whole world changed. That's right. And speaking of this too, it doesn't happen to you until, you know, it affects you. Let's talk about pain a little bit. You know, talk about pain, ignoring pain. How do you deal with pain? How should you deal with pain? How do we deal with pain? I know for me, and I think probably most of us, when we're in, we try to ignore it. We try to cover it up. We try to, you know,
Why do you do that, Ben?
yeah,
Why do you
because
do that?
you want to keep on going. You don't want to face the reality.
It's sick call.
My legs going numb. I'm good. You're good. Not getting your back looked at. Or, you know, stopping deadlifting, doing dumb things, or, you know, whatever else you got to do, or, you know, or you're self-medicating. Let's get real. You're self-medicating. You know, you're drinking your brains out to go to sleep, not realizing the drinking's killing your sleep. It's hurting you more than you think it's helping you. You think it's helping you. It's not. You're trying to ride the buzz to sleep, and next thing you know, you're not sleeping. You're not sleeping well at all. You know, if you were one of those little things, your sleep score is terrible. And so, you know, I think this is why it's so important. You know, I talked about it with Jay Dorlius in the Green Beret Chronicles the other day, with Nick Irving as well. But we talked about why we don't get help, why we don't. I'm talking not just for, like, you know, trauma or stress related PTSD. I'm talking also real pain.
Physical injury.
Yes, I think you know a little bit about that too, Bobby.
You actually, because it's frowned upon, one thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, somebody's always there trying to move into your job.
Right. That's
Like,
100%.
it's
It's
nonstop
like pro football.
competition.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, you're not physically able. They got to put somebody there that can.
Yep.
And you'd be surprised what you can learn to live with.
Yeah.
And at some points, and everybody's like, man, you don't ever bitch about it. I said, but it doesn't change anything.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
That's true. But you hear that some of these NFL guys, man, they're like, you're all banged up all the time. Football players in football season, all trashed up all the time. Elbows, knees, hips, back, shoulders, you know, and it's rough on them, rough on their
another
bodies.
awful, and it doesn't really get you until you're older. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
when you get older, and with me, and this was a big problem, is because I wouldn't go to sick call. You know, I ran with a
Yep.
broken ankle and taped it up, and then tied my boot as tight as possible, because I didn't want to miss. You know, I'm like, I can't make these guys be tough if they can't see me being tough.
Yeah, that's right. That's
And
right.
then you learn that, hey, I can make it through some shit sometimes. The body is a wild thing.
It is. Yeah.
But then you get to the part where you get past that and you get debilitated.
Right.
And you
Yeah,
suffer.
for sure.
You don't have any records, you know, because you never went to sick call. So they just say it never happened. You know?
Right. Exactly. And guys, stick around. So tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. If you're new here, welcome. Great to have you. Welcome aboard all the new people. Welcome to the best chat in YouTube. As everybody says that visits here, we've got really cool people in the chat here. We have a great time. Tonight we're talking about focus and pain. We're going to talk about Iran. We're going to talk about UAPs. We're going to talk about China, Taiwan a bit. Probably get into a little Ukraine, depending on how much time we have. And then we're going to have our last third act, if you're new here again, is the leadership lessons of South Park, which is just a lot of zany satire and funny, stupid stuff. I'm going to put up some dumb videos, and we're going to laugh our brains out, okay? So it'll be a lot of fun. Stick around for that as well, too. And always we lead it off into personal development, leadership, you know, and life lessons, things like that. Because we got a lot of great people that come on here, and we got a lot of great people in the chat, too, who can share a lot of lessons, too. So that's what we...
I personally, and I just want the audience to know, I go and listen to them.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
It's very seldom that you can get a chance to talk to somebody that has been in a lieutenant colonel on the other side and ask them free reign questions of what, because they compartmentalize information in the military.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
you know,
Yeah.
they're not going to tell you everything that he knows.
Right.
It's
Right.
a need to know basis.
Right.
So I get an opportunity to learn something that I didn't know because now I always had a rule. I wouldn't tell a man to go do a job just to do it. I would tell him how, why, and when he's doing that.
Yeah.
So he understands why the hell that needs to be done.
Right.
And it made a difference
Right.
versus just go do it.
Right. For sure. And
So
you know what I'll
I
say
like to
for
hear the other
everybody.
side. I love to listen to the other side because you don't get that. And I tell guys, hey, man, listen to him because you get this other side. And he's not over here selling the fucking rah at you. You know, it's genuine and he'll answer about anything you want to hear. So
Right. Right. I appreciate that, man.
I'll take
Thank
advantage
you,
of it. I'll
brother.
listen.
I appreciate that, Bobby. You know, and I'll say, and the reason why in this case that we all need to take care of ourselves and get ahead of things, don't ignore your pain. Don't ignore your gut. You know, get checked out. Okay. If you need help with something, get help with it. You know what I mean? Like if your gut's telling you that the situation's not right, maybe you need to enforce some boundaries and what's going on. Okay. And boundaries sometimes means, you know, you're taking fire, you need to get cover, or you need to fire back a little bit too to make sure people know, like, look, you know, you can't say or do these things to me. So it's important, but you got to listen to your gut. Pain is there for a reason. It's serving you to let you know something's going on. It's like a dashboard telling you something's going on here. You got to get it looked at. Either you're tired, you're stressed, you're hungry, you're injured, or something else is happening. Your body's fighting, and you got to take care of it. Okay. And you know, I saw Keith Riddle. What's going on, man? I saw you put 22 in there. You know, for I think we're talking about, you know, military veteran suicide, stuff like that. And it's
That's not a good number.
Yeah.
You know, that's something somebody come up with. That's not the real number. I would say at one point it was higher.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I want to say it was around 40. And
crazy.
I did the numbers on this. This is just this quick segment.
Yeah.
Is I'm friends with so many guys from Vietnam, from Green Berets, and I'm like, I love to talk to them and their experiences.
Yeah.
But they did a tour, okay, and they were tough. And when I told one time, I said, he was like, man, you need to. He's like, how many have you done? I was like 4. And he's like, man, we got to write a book. And I'm like, the hell I am. Like, you're not going to embarrass me. He's like, what do you mean? I said, I know guys with 17. And I listened to Dick Thompson talk one time.
Yeah.
And he talked about everybody and what they do. Eventually, everybody has a breaking point. And the pressure and speed that they put certain units through. Because I don't know about the Marine Corps, but the Army only has certain units that are the real fighting force. You know, if we're in terrain that their tanks can't go, it's not going. They're not going.
Right.
They rely on their conventional unit, the 82nd, the 101st, and 10th Mountain very much for everything.
I hear the doggies down there.
Hey,
That's all right. They're funny.
but what I was trying to explain that to people, I was like, when you are rotating like that nonstop, everybody has a different threshold where they eventually break from stress or combat fatigue.
Very true. Very true. Everyone's different for that too. You know,
People can handle more than others.
some people can. It's interesting. You know.
You know, and then some people, that's all they know. That's their identity.
Right. Very true. Some people.
17 deployments, man. I tell guys, it's like, what more do you want to do?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's funny. And you saying that, I had one of my guys got killed his last combat tour, obviously, and his friend talked about the funeral. He was on his 10th combat deployment, and he was like, when are you going to stop? You know, these are, you know, Marine Corps level 6 to 8 month combat deployments. And he's like, when it kills me. And it did. It's the saddest thing.
It will.
You know, and he was
But
a
it's
real
also
warrior, man. He was a real warrior.
ingrained in our heads. I remember glorious death, basically.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and that's not a real.
No.
That shouldn't be a thought in a man's head.
No. I mean, I think that stuff comes back from like the Vikings, the Spartans, when these are national wars of survival, where you're gonna go and you got to go, and this
Guys
is like
see
you're defending the homeland,
movies
stuff like
and
that.
Stuff, and they got the music playing.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
walking through the field of Elysian.
Yeah. Right.
Man, it's not that way.
It's not that way. It's not. You can be a badass warrior and a little piece of metal flies through the air, and that's the end of it. But
It's
these are
crazy
all
how
our
some guys
enlightening,
can
our
do it.
enlightened
Anyway,
thoughts for
sorry
right
about
now.
that.
Get
Just
help,
had a moment.
guys. Listen, what you can do, focus on what you can control. Focus, right? We talked about that. Write down your vision. Write down your goals. Okay, backwards plan. See what the skills and resources you need are to get there, and do one thing at a time. Even studying, researching, learning, that is one thing, right? And then on top of that, try to, what you want to make sure is that you're not ignoring your pain. You're not ignoring your gut. If you're afraid of something, analyze the fear. Let the fear pass through you. Still go anyway.
Swallow that pride.
Yeah, right. Swallow the pride. Exactly. That's a big part of the fear. Pride causes fear, causes you to swallow dreams and put dreams away, goals away, because you're afraid to do it. Okay. So we're going to transition here in a second here and get into the Iran war real quick. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Put on a little bit of our transition music and get everybody warm back up right now.
Shit.
Let me see.
Here we
Let me
go.
see what we can find, Bob. We're going to fire it up.
Fire that mother
Let's
up, buddy. Let me
see
get
here,
the,
baby. All right, here we go. Getting ready. Get into Iran.
Level up, level,
All right, buddy.
level up.
Let them know we're here. Woo!
Drop,
That's it. I love it. You got the templates.
go.
All right, everyone. We're getting ready to fire this up. Let them know we're here, baby.
Bass.
It's funny, as Jake was saying, this is like a rave. All right, we're going into Iran now. If I can do this right, everyone knows challenge with some of this stuff. But let's see. I'm going to put the drum roll on, man. Let's see if we can do it. All right, I'm going to share this first video. And let's see. I'm almost there. I didn't do it right. We're going to do one more time. One more drum roll. One more drum roll in a second. Hold on.
dude, I
here
laughed
we go.
so hard when you first got the fucking the drums and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed so
Oh,
much
yeah.
watching you.
And here it is. One more drum roll just because I want to. Here we go. And we have it. All right. So everybody knows right now things are developing in Iran, right? We lost 2 U.S. service members. I'm going to play this. Let's take a look at it. Okay. And then we're going to go from there. We're going to give you what we think is going on and what's going to happen next. All right.
What's the 3 titties back there? Milk, water, not order?
Iran following deadly attacks on American forces. The U.S. Central Command says 2 soldiers were killed and a 3rd is missing at this hour after an Iranian attack on a base in Jordan. They are the first U.S. troops to die in the region since April. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth sharing this post today. Godspeed, heroes. Their sacrifice only stiffens our resolve. Attacks between Iran and the U.S. have been escalating for days now. A total of 16 U.S. service members have died since the war started at the end of February. CBS's Anna Corin is in our London bureau with the very latest developments. Anna.
Good evening, Jerry.
All right. So we're at 16 KIA right now in this war. We just lost 2 more. I think it's a special forces base, what they're saying. I don't know, some kind of base that's out there in Syria. I believe that's what they're just saying. And Bobby, what are your takes on that? What's your take on that?
So, it's really hard to get information. As far as, I won't say it's not hard to get information. It's hard to get very clear information. Because I will say this is, with this administration, they're not going to tell you when they're going to strike.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And I will say this about Trump, and I don't always agree with him. People always say, "Oh, you're this." No, I'm not. I'm right and wrong. I don't give a shit what color you wear. We don't know what they have planned, but I promise you, our strategy has a backup with a backup. Like, we learned in Iraq when they changed at the last minute, and they're like, all of a sudden, we're going to just drive to Baghdad. Well, what the fuck are you going to do when you get there? There was no thought process afterwards.
Right.
With this, it's been thought out, and it's been methodically thought out with every scenario. They're not going to tell us that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Just because something's not public doesn't mean that they're not thinking of it. The only thing I would say is, I just think, I will say, and I said this last night too, but I think that we had some flawed assumptions going in the start of this, right? We began to think that, we just began to think that we were going to be able to topple the regime with cutting the head off the snake. and it didn't happen, right? I think there was a lot of belief that we'd come in there, we'd slap them around, we'd knock the head off the snake, we'd be able to get them to sue for peace. They would be very impressed by that strike, and then I think that I think it didn't go the way we thought it would, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Go ahead. What's up, Bobby?
This is something I'm gonna bring up a point about what you said though, because I looked at it just a little bit differently, and what I saw was the president is one, he knows if you go boots on the ground, it's gonna be a long time, like because once we remove the government, then we have to wait till they have one put back in,
right?
And then that's America's instilling their government again on people, okay?
Yeah.
And we're trying to stay away from that. Also, Congress isn't going to approve it.
Right.
They basically made that very clear. So he's trying to walk within a boundary, and it's tough because, I'm sorry, man, civilians get killed sometimes too. All right?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing.
It's just
war.
part of it, and we all know that, and we don't feel fucking happy when they do. Like, they're just people. Just like I used to tell people, when you humanize your enemy, it's time for you to quit. Because you will question shit. Like, why am I doing that?
That's interesting.
That's
interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, when you humanize them, when you realize that they have a family, and all they're doing is what they were taught as a kid coming up.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Well, I think so. For me, I have an opposite take. I think you can't dehumanize the enemy. I think that causes a lot of the times us to maybe unnecessarily, impose costs and things like that. I think it is what it is. Retaining professionalism all the way. And so, but I do know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying because in World War II, what did a Marine Corps general say? He sent a letter saying for the Pacific Theater, he said, "You're going to have the hate. They have to have the hate fighting the Japanese in the island hopping campaigns. It's going to be a savage war like you've never seen before."
That first wave of GWAT had some hate in them.
Yeah, you're not lying, man. You're not lying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
The Special Forces guys specifically saying that how they're like, he's like, I think they just set us back, man, because they come in here with a hammer. You know what I mean? Because everybody was the enemy to us at that point. Like, we never seen our country attacked.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I go back to seeing people jumping out of windows that they would rather die that way than burn to death. And a woman with the last bit of dignity, she's holding her dress down, jumping out of a fucking building to her death. But she's going to cover herself.
That's right.
Well,
like I was saying, I just think going into this thing, I think we had flawed assumptions that we would come in, decapitate the head off the snake, and they would be able to have their way with them. I just think
we thought we could kill enough of them. The next guy steps in, we kill him. Eventually, somebody's going to be like, all right, hey, man, like, we got to play ball because we've killed 52 of their heaviest officials.
Yeah. It hasn't happened yet, though. The only thing I'll say is that air power has never caused a regime to change.
And we rely too heavily on it in GWAT.
Yeah. So that's the only thing with that. Let's watch this real quick. Let's check this out. All right.
The search is on for a U.S. service member missing in action in Jordan, where 2 others were killed yesterday, defending against Iranian missile and drone attacks. Lucas Tomlinson is in Tel Aviv. He is live with the latest for us. Lucas.
And John, the State Department has just issued a brand new worldwide caution urging Americans to think twice about any travel to the Middle East. It was released just about 40 minutes ago on the travel.gov website. Due to heightened tensions in the Middle East, the security environment remains complex with the potential for unseen escalation. And that's exactly what we saw in neighboring Jordan, John, last night when Iran fired multiple
All right. So, I think a lot of this, again, what they're saying is that, it's maybe less about, I was thinking initially, maybe it's a terrorism warning, things like that. Maybe Iran's going to do asymmetric warfare and do terror strikes. But really what it is them just launching ballistic missiles, which we said we got rid of. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, we knew they were hiding them underground. And what I did is I went back and I talked to some non-guys that were living in Iran until the overthrow.
Yeah, you're telling me that.
For Bell.
Yeah. What did they say?
Were teaching the pilots, all that stuff. And these are smart dudes, man.
Yeah.
They were some smart, those aviators. I mean, they come back to the States, dude, and these guys were just geniuses. I love talking to them.
Right.
And he told me, he's like, this is what you've got to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he said something to me. He's like, if you want to really stop them, and this is where I told you about, I said, it hasn't escalated to that point, but Iran's out of water. You know, they were going to move Taiwan before all this at one point because of the water situation.
Yeah.
And they rely on desalination now. So it hasn't got to the point that we're going to make their whole country hungry or thirsty. You know, we've stopped China's imports. And I think all of this is more geared to slowing down China and putting them back in their hole, because they had moved themselves all the way to the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did it through a different way, though. You know, China will overcome you with ideology and time. Like, they're patient.
Yeah.
We're a 4-year get it done, let's go, you know, and then we get a new president with new ideas.
Right. Right. That's very true. I mean, that's interesting you say that about, you know, China and support from, you know, for the war. And so I want to find something. I think I have an article here I want to pull up about, here we go.
This is something I studied way, like, well, 4 years ago, because I was all into it big. I was trying to explain to people about the canals and the trade routes. And China owned the ends of the canals.
Right. I'm gonna pull this up real
how do we
quick
get our
here, guys.
vessels, our naval
All right,
vessels, if we got to go help Japan right then?
So check this out. So questions are mounting over whether China or Russia may have helped Iran carry out its deadly strike in Jordan. Okay, Representative Riley Moore says reports suggesting Beijing or Moscow may have provided targeting information need to get to the bottom of it, while arguing China remains a top U.S. adversary. Moore also urged greater cooperation with U.S. allies in the Gulf, warning the conflict could expand into broader regional war if tensions continue to escalate. I mean, this is before China provided targeting material to them as well, you know. And so I'll key this up a little bit.
We need to make this very clear. This is one.
There we go.
John, thanks so much for having me on. I think one of the interesting things, and I've just seen kind of breaking news on this, was the precision in which they were able to strike sensitive targets within Jordan. And the reporting is indicating that perhaps China or Russia was feeding them targeting information. Now, we need to get to the bottom of that, particularly if we're talking about China, on the back of the news that the president just broke and declassified about them stealing over 200 million voter files from the United States, and obviously interfering in our election where they were trying to influence through.
All right, so China's done this before. China's provided targeting material before to Iran in another strike. And so, I mean, you know, where does this put us? What are we going to do if China has done this? And the last time, what did we do? We did nothing. We're like, you guys did this. Like, no, we didn't. We're like, okay.
So,
and, you know, we kept going. So I think to your point, Bobby, about, well, we're doing something right now because China gets 20% of their oil from Iran. They
don't have to buy it in the dollar.
20% from Venezuela, right? So something like that. But fact check me on this, guys. My facts are a little bit messed up right now.
I've got it right here.
But they tell me, what is it? How much is it?
So they, just like you said, they get, you know, China needs 65% of their energy imported.
Okay.
And they heavily they buy almost 95% of Iran's. And they get it at a discount, and they don't use the dollar.
And we just shut that all down.
We can't have that because, you know, petrodollar's got to live. And I just want to say how these things are connected. And I tell people, I'm like, you know, everybody said we went to Iraq for oil. We didn't take their oil. We let them keep it. But we took the sale. So every dollar that was sold in petroleum products from Iraq would be deposited in the United States, and we would give them money to reconstruct as we went.
Yeah.
And that was our leverage.
Right.
You know, go ahead and pump all the oil you want, sell it. We don't care. But then you have Russia and China. Russia comes in and buys massive oil reserves. ExxonMobil moves out. China moved in and took over those oil fields. You know what I mean? It's in a bad spot also because you have that piece of ground. The more I've looked at it, it's so strategic for the area.
Yeah, right. Right.
It's very strategic for the area, and so I don't know if anybody's.
There's a lot
bunch of
to
different
consider there.
pipelines. It's all got to do with energy.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to consider. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not an easy. It's just it's a rough thing, and I think the fact that we have U.S. service member missing now in Jordan too. This is not good. MIA is not good. Just talking with Aaron the other day about running rescue operations now. I think about talking with Aaron about running rescue operations and what are they spinning up on right now? It's got to be insane. Now we're talking all the way across the Middle East, and Iran knows that they're causing problems for us by doing all these things. So
I think Iran loses every time they bring something out of hiding to shoot. They lose that something. It's gone. We're gonna get it.
Right.
The other, and I want to say, you're not going to know how many times they tried to kill the president, but he made it very clear the other night that military is on go for it. If the president of the United States is assassinated, they are to destroy Iran. And he hit them with 1,000 missiles the other night.
Right.
I mean,
right.
It was awesome.
Well, check this out. Let's see what Iran is saying right now about this. Here we go.
The U.S. striking Iran for the 7th straight night, hammering key coastal infrastructure targets.
Iranians also carrying out attacks on America's Gulf allies as the regime threatens to carry out a full-scale offensive.
Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with the details. Good morning, Maddie.
Hi, good morning. That's right, guys. The U.S. and Iran are accusing each other of now attacking civilian targets. The U.S. has hit roads and bridges around Bandar Abbas, a strategic port near the Strait of Hormuz. Their aim is to isolate the IRGC from resupplying. CENTCOM touted the destruction of one observation tower in particular, which they say significantly weakens the IRGC's ability to coordinate attacks on ships. The U.S. is denying Iran's claim that it's hitting civilian infrastructure, arguing it's been striking military targets with one goal in mind.
So the only thing I'd say with this is, like, looking at this, Bobby, right away what I thought is that this is isolation. This is the first phase, isolation and preparation for, deployment orders, getting ground troops ready. You're doing the first phase of isolating Bandar Abbas and Keshem Island. And if you look at this, I'm going to pull this up right now.
They blew the hell out of Keshem Island.
Yeah, there it is. Exactly. I'm going to pull this up right now in Keshem Island too. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. So check out these strikes, everyone, on Keshem Island right here. Okay, we zoom in a little bit more, zoom on down. And this is Keshem Island. It looks like the leaf blower, like I said. Some people say a dagger, I say a leaf blower. And let's look at some of the bombings that have occurred. And right here, 5 to 6 explosions in Keshem. This is just like, this wasn't long ago at all. Let me just double check the timing. 7 minutes ago. 7 minutes ago, okay? Let's play this. Let's see what this sounds like. Not very good video. Okay, so that was 7. Actually, it says 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. They posted it 7 minutes ago. Okay, here's another Keshem Island strike. Numerous blasts 20 minutes ago were heard in Keshem, in Iran over here. Now, Bandar Abbas strikes. CENTCOM today at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. U.S. forces began launching new airstrikes against Iran at the Commander-in-Chief's direction. The strikes are designed to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz and swiftly punish Islamic Revolutionary Guard. This one's right on Bandar Abbas. CENTCOM's forces ended the 7th consecutive night of strikes against Iran on July 17th. This is 1 day ago. Okay, let's see this one.
Ben, I just want to let you know we have a superstar in the chat.
Okay.
Jameson Travels is in the chat.
Get out of here, Jameson. What's going on, man? Good to have you here, brother. Awesome. What's happening, Jameson? Great to have you.
I mean, if Jameson's coming over here, I mean, he got to be selling something good over here.
Well, this is Sensei. Jameson is the head honcho. Yep. He's checking up. This is the coach. We're in trouble if we don't have a good performance, Bobby. So appreciate you being here, Jameson. Yeah, so that's, I mean, if you look at this stuff right here, sorry, I'm all over the place with this map, but let's zoom this on out. And so, and all the way down here, we're hitting them too in southern Iran. A power grid 17 hours ago, desalination facilities and fishing pier in the Bunj area were targeted along with several other locations in Iran's southern Jask country. Okay? And I think if we zoom out, we're going to see even more. Okay, so down here, now let's look at what Iran's been doing. Look at this one, ballistic missile launch. New wave of missiles launched from Iran. Where have they hit? Explosions continue in Bahrain. That's 17 hours ago. Tassim News quoting the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. More strikes. So this is going all over the place, you know. And again, as the video said, Iran is threatening full-on conflict. I don't know what else they can do. The thing for me is that the big thing that they're escalating is when they struck the desalination plant over in UAE, I believe it was, or in Qatar. Then this is as bad as it gets. If you start striking desalination plants, this is like a nuclear weapon. You're going to kill so many people. What's your take on that?
That's what we're trying not to do.
Yeah.
And we don't want the people to suffer. You know, and we're not trying to embed our own government. What we're wanting is them to have their government they pick on their own. It'll still probably be the RIGC that's going to be in control, but just fucking comply. You know, and that's a really tough spot, man. Because
Bobby, you got a question from Helter Zeltzer. It said a question for Bobby. I remember him having an opinion about Sarah Adams, the OSINT lady,
fuck, man.
who always claims the world's about to end every other week. What are his thoughts, if he has any on that? What do you think?
Sarah sells fear. She just signed a deal with Walt Disney, actually. And
Is that right?
At one time she was operational.
Yeah.
I don't believe she's in any loops, but she's very good at saying the Middle Eastern names and stuff, and very knowledgeable about
right.
repeating these things. Like I can't say their names, and if we were to have an argument, nobody else goes and looks at this shit.
Right.
So she's more well spoken, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So she plays off that, but she worries people. She sells fear using her background.
Right.
To enrich herself. And I hate that shit. I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, selling the fear. Hey, Jameson, thanks so much, man. Bobby, I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
Go for it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. I'm just going to do a quick thank you to you, and we're going to do what we always do on this channel, Jameson. We're going to celebrate you real quick, man. And let's go ahead. Share out the show link. These guys know the deal. Appreciate that, Jameson. All right, everybody, put your dang emoji hands together for Jameson right now. Appreciate the support, brother. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. We celebrate it in stride, baby. Thanks so much, Jameson. Great having you here.
Ben, if you'll indulge me for a minute.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Earlier.
Yeah, you want me to put the maps back up?
Yeah, and I want to show people so they understand.
Do you want the conflict map, or I'm going to cycle through a couple for you. You tell me which one you want.
one also I put up there that people don't know about.
I don't know. I don't know if I was able to get that one on here. My kung fu is not strong enough to share everything.
I can kind of talk about it a little bit.
Here's one from Strait of Hormuz, right there, and then tell me this one.
Well, these ain't mine.
Yeah, I can't get to them.
That's all good. I can talk about it just a little bit. So
okay, talk it through. I'm gonna try and put them up there while you're talking.
Okay, so I want to tell y'all how the bigger picture plays out. Is, go look at the amount of people coming across the Darien Gap, and I will say the best source of information on it was Michael Yawn, former Green Beret, turned journalist. He's wrote about 6 books about China. He's took the trip from China through South America to the border. He said,
okay,
we had 500, they were doing what I call immigration warfare.
Okay.
So, we always take these people, we get them here, and we put them all in one fucking spot. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's the worst thing we could ever do. Because at that point now, they have the numbers to control local government and officials because they can elect who they want.
Wait, so tell me one more time. Wait, tell me again. What's the overall argument you're making on this?
So the argument is I was trying to explain to people how close China was to the door.
Okay.
And they don't want kinetic battles. They win through ideology.
Got it. Okay.
Well, when they were shipping all these people, at the border during the Biden administration, I read over 500,000. I mean, like there were so many coming through the fucking Darien Gap. They built all this infrastructure in South America.
Okay.
And what they really like to do is they'll do an archaeological dig, and they'll be like, you know, they come across on the land bridge. You're Chinese. You know, we got to get our land back from the Americans. So, you know, they'll build up and act like they're doing all these things for these countries. And the Panama Canal, they could never get around that. And that's got to deal with, you know, if we have to go to Japan or launch in the Pacific, we have to get through those canals.
Okay.
Our warships.
Yeah.
China.
And you're saying like how China has slowly been.
The canal.
China's like slowly been, you know,
into our hemisphere.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like a little surrounding technique or getting a foothold.
They're highly invested in Iran survival.
Okay. Got
because
it.
they
Okay,
have
there
their
we
Belt
go.
and Road Initiative.
Okay. Got it.
And then you have the middle corridor. But we also have where this is actually, I knew this forever ago, the Caspian Sea.
Yeah.
And we were going to run a pipeline from Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and then into India. Okay. It's being constructed. It's all the way through Turkmenistan. It's going through Afghanistan as we speak. So China wants to control that energy also. They need that.
Okay.
And also, I'll say, where we're trying to combat them with, it's called the IMEC. A lot of people don't know it. But the sea route goes India to Oman, Saudi Arabia, up to Israel, and now they're in the Mediterranean. And it circumvents that whole area.
Okay.
So if you go and look at the key pieces of land in the world are going to be your Suez Canal, which is nationalized by Egyptians, the Egypts.
Okay.
You know?
I'm gonna zoom this out a little bit just so we can use some of the stuff you're talking about.
The Strait of Gibraltar.
Okay.
The
Let's zoom
Strait of
out here
Malacca.
so everybody can see what Bobby's talking about. Okay, so give me him again, Bobby, and I'll point to him. Here's Strait of Gibraltar's here, guys.
So you got the Gibraltar there. That's a big one. Well, you go down, and
Right
what we're
here.
building right now, and we've been doing it, is connecting India to Europe via the Middle East and circumventing everything. Because India can provide the same garbage that China can.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, and that's what we did. We gave them F-35s.
Okay.
You know, basically, so what this does is it goes from India, the sea route goes over to Oman, into Saudi Arabia, up to Israel, and then Israel out into the Mediterranean. That's the route.
Okay.
You
So
know,
we're going from Saudi Arabia here, and then going around. Just follow my cursor.
Yeah, just right up through the
Bandar
middle.
al-Mandeb, and then up and through here.
Yep, up to Oman, and then you got Israel right there at the
Yep.
border by Syria. And
I'll zoom it
everybody's
in.
harping about Turkey. Turkey was one of our biggest allies in the war.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we not only
There was
did I see them with boots on
someone
the
talked
ground.
about I saw before, not in this chat, but in the chat the other day, about you know, are we going to go to war with Turkey? Like Turkey's part of NATO. No, we're not going to go to war
Part
with
of
Turkey.
NATO. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
We have non-NATO
Turkey's up
partners
here.
as well, like Australia, Japan, you know,
Right.
etc.
Right. And so what Bobby's talking about here's you know, the Strait of Hormuz here, Bandar Mandeb down here. I keep on messing up that name, but this is the other strait that Iran could tell the Houthis to shut down. This is Yemen. Here's Jordan, where the U.S. soldiers, U.S. service members were killed. Let me just share this real quick, Bobby.
Supposed to be an ally.
Let me just share this real quick so people can see. Here we go. Okay. New footage shows the missile that killed 2 American soldiers beat multiple interceptors before striking their housing units. Okay. I'm just going to play this real quick so everybody can see, you know, because I know there's a lot of stuff out there where people don't believe what they're seeing on the news. So here's something from X, and hopefully this points out a little more. I'm not sure if that's a missile or a drone coming in. Okay, here it comes, the missile. Coming across. That is wild. But it looks like it says it beats several interceptors. I don't know if it has multiple
There were some
warheads.
interceptors that missed a few.
Yeah. I
And
don't know
want
if
to explain to people how that happened.
Maybe they sent a bunch of missiles.
Well, not only just that Iron Dome system calculates the trajectory.
Yeah.
And when it feels like it's kind of hit an area that's insequential, they let it go.
Right.
You know?
And that's the one that struck us, so it's terrible. That actually hit. And again, the thing in question right now, is, did China provide that intelligence? Okay. You know, and so that's the big question right now. And again,
how many
what
Chinese operatives have been arrested lately?
Yeah, a lot. But
in high spots at that.
Right. And you know, I want to bring this up too real quick, Bobby, because you're talking about Belt and Road Initiative. So, breaking news, Beijing has just delivered a stunning geopolitical betrayal to Moscow, plunging a dagger directly into Putin's desperate pivot to Asia by freezing the Kremlin's crown jewel energy project.
Oh.
According to reports in the Wall Street Journal, China has indefinitely suspended all negotiations with Russia regarding the construction of the massive Power of Siberia 2 gas pipeline. The pipeline was designed to reroute hundreds of billions of cubic meters of natural gas originally bound for Europe directly into Chinese markets, serving as Moscow's primary economic hope to replace lost Western revenues. The freeze represents a catastrophic defeat for Russia, exposing the brutal reality of its asymmetric dependence on Beijing. With Europe permanently locked out and China walking away from the negotiating table, Russia's massive gas reserves are effectively trapped in the ground with nowhere to go. So this is
that's so big.
Oh, this is like multimedia extravaganza here. I didn't realize it's gonna be so loud.
You remember when?
But you can talk to this one maybe, Bob, if you want to.
And it basically bottomed the market out.
Tell me again.
You know, them and Russia was pumping oil out the ass. And the Saudis did our dirty work. They combated it, and they just dumped the price to nothing. Like, it was the first time I ever seen a barrel of oil in the minus.
Yeah. Hey, Benjamin Netanyahu, welcome here, man. It's awesome. Great to have you.
Trump took advantage of that. Well, the Saudis also did too, because then they bought up a shit ton of Russian diesel and resold it to you Europeans. We provide 65% of all the fucking natural gas in Europe because they decided to go green in one day.
Right.
And
well, I mean,
you can't. We're not
there's a
going
lot
to
to think about. There's so much to think about, honestly, and you know, there's just so much information out there. So much that sometimes we don't know if it's deception, if it's a true story. This one is from the Wall Street Journal, so I tend to think that there's some good, journalism being done on it. Better than just someone making something up. But again, China's showing Russia, China's making its move to dominate. They are. Make no mistake about it.
They were close. They were one election away.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about that.
And the deal's back on right now, from my understanding. China wants to cut a canal across Nicaragua.
Yeah, I don't know. Nick,
it's back on. I checked into it. That's one of because it will circumvent the Panama.
Hold on real quick. Nick, not sure how big of a deal that actually is depending on the build stage. If it's Wall Street Journal, it usually is pretty good. Yeah, Nick, it's like a Twitter offshoot. Someone took it from the Wall Street Journal and put it on here. So, again, we got to consider the source, but it seemed like a something worthy, something worth looking at. So
I'm gonna throw one on you ain't never heard.
Put it up there. What is it?
Venezuela has, everybody thinks Trinidad Agua. They have a lot of Hezbollah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Super interesting.
So a couple of years ago, before the elections, Eric Prince was in Venezuela.
Okay.
And I was like,
tell him who Eric Prince is. Bobby, tell him who Eric Prince is.
Eric Prince was the founder and the head of Blackwater.
Yep.
Up until they lost their contracts. He sold the company.
Right.
He come back. Again, he's a former Navy SEAL. Betsy DeVos, his sister, was his way in the White House, basically.
Right.
Eric's a super smart guy.
Okay.
At one time, he probably had one of the most powerful civilian armies in the world. And he offered to kill Maduro. He said, my guys will come kill him for $100 million.
Okay.
And I was telling people about this. But our web browsers are geo-locked. So if you want to go look at news from, India, I want to go read the newspaper in India. I can't. Because they've got it locked where I'm only allowed to see what information they want me to see. You'll have 1 million matches up there at the top. And when you start going through your news, you just keep getting the same repeated. You don't get the local news.
Interesting.
You just get what they give you in the mainstream.
I haven't tried that before.
Yeah, you can be on, it'll say 1 million matches, but you can only see fucking 5 pages and they repeat.
That's wild, man. And
They
can you
did that. So what I want to do when I want to go read information, I read both sides. And it's like, okay, there's some truth in both.
Yeah. There's a lot out there, and there's a lot of hard stuff to sift through. I'll say that for sure. Let's take a look at, speaking of China.
It's such a big scale. When you go
to Bobby, to your point, and you're right, keep going, Bobby. I'm going to pull this up while you're saying
so
that.
all I was going to say is it's such a big scale on keeping leverage on who you can. And I was telling people why the Kurds didn't help us this time. The Kurds have a shit ton of dealings right now with Russia and their pipelines. So the Russians are going to lean on them.
Right. So check this out. Just to Bobby's point, so we kind of have an idea about what China's up to right now. New satellite images reveal China building a full-scale replica of a U.S. Navy destroyer in a remote desert. The 510 Mach warship mirrors key features of the American vessel. Experts say it could be used to train AI targeting systems or send a strategic warning to the U.S. and Taiwan. We can listen to this real quick as well in the video. Here we go.
New satellite photos showing concerning and familiar images from China. Officials say Beijing is constructing ships and planes nearly identical to those used by the U.S. military. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin tells us how the replicas are being used.
This is a 510-foot 3D replica of an Arleigh Burke-class U.S. Navy destroyer built in the middle of the Taklamakan Desert in China's Xinjiang province. Vantor, an American satellite company, tracked the construction over the past 6 months. The model could be used for potential targeting. It has an exact replica of the helicopter launch system, mast, bridge, and deck guns used on this particular American warship.
It had targets that clearly look like aircraft carriers. This one is really just super detailed, which you wonder why.
Thomas Schugert, a former Navy.
I mean, there's one part of me that's like, well, why do you think? In case they think there's going to be a war against the U.S., we do all the same things. But I mean, it's also clear evidence of the fact that they mean business. They mean to compete. They mean win.
Business, but they have no experience.
100%, man.
And
100%.
There's things that we have that people don't take into effect. Our submarines are absolutely devastating,
terrifying,
and hard to find.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
They don't realize that they have to know that there are nuclear missiles armed at them right now.
Right. I mean, I agree with that 100%. Hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and make sure you share it if you think somebody's gonna get something out of this. We're gonna have a lot more to cover tonight, actually. Tonight's show, we're gonna be talking again. We talked about focus. And we talked about going through pain and how you deal with that early on, talking about the Iran war right now and all the kind of geopolitical positioning around that, why we're there, what's going to happen next, and covering the latest, greatest news. And next we're going to jump into, let me see what the poll says, because you guys get to vote on that. We're actually going to jump into next is UAP Disclosure and Cover-Up. So that's right in Bobby's wheelhouse and in mine too. Hit Iran first, according to the poll, UAP Disclosure and Cover-Up. So if you didn't vote yet, get your vote in there. China, Taiwan, we're covering a little bit right now, just on the side.
Yeah, the China-Taiwan thing, I would like to have a segment on it, because I want everybody
we have to have a separate segment. We need a separate segment on it, for sure. So, and by their vote, too, they want to see the UAPs. So let's go ahead, and we're going to jump right into UAPs right now. You ready for a little UAP action?
Let's get it, man.
All right, man. Hey, everybody, as always, we're going to put a little transition music on. We're going to fire this. We're going to fire it up right now. So get yourself ready. Get a little drink. Get yourself ready to go. You get about 30 seconds transition music before we kick this thing off.
Feel the pressure start to climb. A brand brand new signal for the time. Let the rhythm take control. Ignite the fire in your soul. Pulse in motion. Pulse in motion.
Hell yeah, fire it up, baby. It is Saturday, damn it. Put your damn emoji hands together. It's Saturday. Fire it up over there. And got a little drum roll. See if I can beat the drum roll. Ah, I think I'm going to do it. Nope, I missed it. 1 second. One more time. Everybody, you know I'm getting better at this. Here we go. Ready? Go. Drum roll, please. Yes, did it. And the 4th tranche of UAP has been released. Believe it or not. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. Give me a 1 in the chat right now. Give me a 1 in the chat if you didn't even know that the 4th tranche was released. Because I'm the UAP guy. I've been covering this since last summer, right? And for a year, nonstop, always covering it. I didn't even know the damn UAP tranche was released. Because why? We're so distracted right now with Iran, as we should be, okay? But again, I want to make sure that I know if you guys are all tracking it, because I wasn't tracking. So I'm going to put a 1 in the chat for myself. Give me a 1 in the chat if you didn't even know that this thing was released. I found out after Valhalla last night that was released. Yeah, Mad, you're right. That's how I was too. Tyler, you didn't know either.
Well, that goes back
BB,
to
friend of the show. Bobby, did you know?
Yeah, because I told like everybody, I go to these government pages and read
Yeah.
release.
I didn't even know it, dude. I wasn't
Yeah,
tracking.
Arrow, AARO.
Right. Okay. Well, check this out. Okay, we're gonna play this, guys, real quick as an update. So here we go.
Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, 40 more declassified UFO files from the Pentagon to pour over. Now, this 4th release includes information from all the way back in the 1940s. It includes a conference between scientists at Los Alamos National Lab about green fireballs sighted near the facility. The site was the nexus for atomic bomb development, and that raises some serious national security concerns, especially at the time, that have persisted ever since. I mean, look at this video, one of 19 in the brand new batch. It shows what's described as a jellyfish-type UFO over the Atlantic Ocean. This is pretty recent. It's in 2020. Now, according to a debrief, this object was approximately 12 to 15 feet tall. And then there's this video from 2019 with a sensor-equipped surveillance plane over the eastern U.S. catching a small rectangular object moving fast enough to outrun the aircraft's own tracking system. One military member saying the UFO had flight characteristics.
All right, so let's check this out. There's another good picture of this here. I want to put this on here for you guys. I got to scroll down and find this. There's a pretty good little picture on this. Hold on, let me find it, guys, and we'll play this up. But Bobby, what's your initial thoughts on this right now when you see this?
I'm with Jake. Everything I read and go and look at that's been declassified, it's technology that people are just now talking about. And if we've already declassed it 15 years ago, we're far beyond it.
Right.
I will say the United States is very good at keeping military secrets.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about that. So check this out. So look at this thing, okay? 4th batch of UFO documents released, okay? And I mean, I think this was actually, I think I'm a little bit behind on this. We covered this last week a little bit as well too, but some new things that have come out from it. This one right here, I don't think we took a look at this last week. This one, which when you pull it up and look at it, this is what this looks like here. When they enhance it with original, Nano Banana, and Grok.
Oh shit!
I mean, check this out.
Nano Banana, they'll kind of, they hallucinate sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this is original though. This original photo looks pretty good. You guys tell me what you think in the chat. You guys tell me what you think. Do you think? Give me a 1 if you think this is non-Earth technology, non-human technology. Give me a 0 if you think it's just advanced tech, like Bobby's saying.
You remember when I sent you those laser satellites?
Yeah, I remember.
And you're like, what is that? And then I sent you the picture. I'm like, I know what it is.
Right. Did I share that? Did you guys see that, Bobby, or did I not share that?
No, I think I sent that to you. You were on TV one day, and I just...
Oh, I'm just saying
like,
right
I'll show
now.
you exactly what those are.
Yeah, I remember that. No, you sent it to me. Okay, here we go, guys. This is what I want to share. Maybe I didn't share it. See, this is the original enhanced nano banana and the super enhanced grok. Did I share that just a minute ago, Bobby, or did I mess that up?
I've seen this before.
Okay,
I think
but not
you
just
shared
right
it this
now.
week sometime.
But just this minute, did I share it or no?
No, sir.
Okay, see, I think I messed up there. Okay, guys, and then so that's. Let's see here. There are a couple more I want to show you guys, just so we're all caught up on this stuff. 1 second. Here we go.
So there's a video out of a drone that Lockheed Martin had built, and it's flying, and it's sitting still, and it's going, and it's got a weapon on it.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks just like this, actually. It looks a lot like this. So, all right, let me see. Okay, we got some people, crazy stuff. Some people think that they are. Mark says no. Are you into it? Says no. Too many people say it's both. I know, Tyler. I hear you, man. Keith, let's see. Keith says, let me see. They were so good at keeping military secrets. Paul says Israel wouldn't be able to steal our nuclear secrets, but if we merge our tech with them, our military, they're going to have them.
So I want to talk about that for 1 second. I'm going to break
that
down.
Talk about it.
Okay. So,
guys, I just want you to know, I'm going to raise my kooky. Sorry, Bobby. I'm going to raise my nutty factor here because we're getting ready for Act 3 soon. I got a lot of funny videos to play.
Okay, and I'm going to do this because I want to break this down because I've been hearing it all week.
Break it down. Tell
me.
I
said, we have been sharing technology with Israel since back in the 60s, okay?
Right.
Elbit Systems is an Israeli-owned facility company. Elbit Systems builds our night vision goggles, the displays for the fucking aircrafts.
Okay.
Like, we rely heavily on their electronics for us.
Okay.
Like,
interesting.
We're not merging shit. We just share technology.
Right.
But they bring something that we don't have. And everybody makes it sound like we're just giving them all our secrets. We're not giving them no damn secrets. Well, they have a company that specializes in the best. They're an ally.
Right.
Who uses that stuff.
Right. Okay.
When the F-35 was built, money come from many countries. Like people are griping about this country getting this and this country getting They paid for it. They don't get the exact version we have, but they paid to have the thing developed.
Because some stuff we don't give away because it's a technology transfer. We don't give away everything.
That's when I liked when Palantir, Meta, and all them were commissioned officers now. So now you follow the DOD command.
Right. Makes sense. Yep.
You got a whole different world with UCMJ.
Right. Right. Very true. Check this out, everybody. You don't think these are real. There it is. Boom. How you like me now? Now you're all believers. Now you're all believers. Boom. How you like me now? Boom. How you like me now? Uh-oh. Look at this.
Satellites.
Huh?
Low-flying digital slender satellites.
See what? See, look at this one, Bobby. This is the most convincing.
That's a damn boat.
This is the most convincing.
That's Noah's Ark, bro. That bitch on Mad Air Rat.
They took some kids. Their kid had a painting or whatever, a picture he drew in school, and they put this in there as a red herring, so everybody thinks it's some massive technology. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. I mean, it is definitely interesting. I think people are talking about a cover-up now. What do you think about a cover-up? Do you think there's a cover-up?
What are they covering up?
Well,
technology?
Here's what I would say. And I talked about this before, but I've covered this in the live stream a bunch of times. There are special access programs that are unacknowledged, and so I guess
there are secret levels above the president.
Well, that's what they're saying. But then also beyond that, though, everything has to have oversight. Even if there's secret levels above the president, there has to be oversight with someone. Someone has to report to a representative of the people because they're using the people's money, right? So they're using taxpayer money. And so what they're doing, though, is they have the unacknowledged special access programs. Allegedly, that's what they're saying. This is where the rub is. Everyone's interested in, but unacknowledged special access programs where they don't know where the money's going, and the money's being siphoned off. They say it's for one thing, it's for another thing, and so people are getting nuts about that.
Well, people get nuts about that, but what they're not looking at also is look at the amount of insurance, medical, and all-out fraud that we have prosecuted this year. in these last
Right.
2 years.
Right.
Y'all remember when North Carolina was underwater? The insurance companies didn't want to pay.
Right. Interesting. Yeah.
They just arrested that guy. $2 billion in insurance fraud because he refused to pay out.
Wow, that's crazy stuff, man.
And
I see some of the stuff in the chat too. Special access program. Pot. I think it's POT. I'm sorry, man. I can't see your name there.
You smoked that death. I got stuff to do.
But like, isn't the special access program only for the head of the DoD? Well, no, it's not. I mean, I was in special access programs, and or at least and so special access programs. But they're special access, meaning you have to be read into the programs. A certain operation, need to know only, and a certain special program. But the thing is this, that there always has to be oversight because they're using taxpayer dollars. So as a good steward of the money, the good steward of our resources, someone has to be read in to do oversight, so that nobody is stealing, fraud, waste, and abuse. As Lord Acton once said, power corrupts, right? And then
100%.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So what this is, these are programs that are off the books and that they are run by people who make money from it. Okay, they're getting funding siphoned off to them that no one has any idea about, no oversight, and apparently, allegedly, they're saying they have biologics, they have non-human technology. Now, even if they don't have any of that stuff, the fact that they have a special technology program that Congress can oversee, I mean, Senate, Congress people.
But they don't know shit about what they're talking about.
But only some parts of the CIA have oversight over it, and even the president can't know about it. So the thing, that's a problem in a democracy, in a representative, democracy, representative country, right? Representative form of government where the people are supposed to vote in elected officials who are supposed to provide the oversight and the guidance, the leadership. But when you have unelected officials controlling the money and not telling us about national security threats that the president may have to deal with, that's a problem. So that's where that is. And then,
the bureaucracy, these bureaucrats, is like the other arm of the government now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
These guys are unelected officials that
Right.
are controlling basically parts of the damn government. We didn't agree to have that person there.
Right.
All the way up to what is called the DAVS program. They're the highest unelected officials appointed by the DoD.
Yeah.
They're basically civilian arms dealers.
Right. Hey, Pot of Greed, I see you, man. I understand now. Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Okay. Thanks.
I want to bring a point up about guys that don't want to be in the limelight that absolutely are very influential.
Yeah.
And y'all should go and see who the Deputy Secretary of Defense is, the assistant. And everybody ought to do that. His name's Stephen Feinberg. I want y'all to, that's homework right there.
Yep. Look him
He's
up.
worth about $50 billion.
It's crazy. Yeah.
He owns almost every paramilitary company there is.
Wow.
And, I mean, he is very, very smart, extremely smart. But he doesn't want to be in the limelight.
Right.
He stands in the back and advises.
Right.
And what
and
you
that's,
have
and
to
that's
do
and
is,
those are a lot. Those are the people you got to watch the most.
You have
It's,
to.
You got to watch them the most, and so because that's the person who has the most power. A lot of times, the one you don't know who's in the room.
1,000%.
The one who doesn't
He
announce
doesn't
themselves.
want any clout.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's some pretty wily stuff, and I just want to, so people get an idea.
Yeah.
We just made amends with Vietnam. Like they're on board. They're going to be an ally now. So what China did is they cut a canal into Cambodia to the Mekong. They're trying to circumvent the Malaccan Strait that we had taken control over.
Right.
Because if we don't allow them to export shit, we'll shut that straight down. They've only got a couple of times of the year that they can go around the top of Russia. Nobody wants to do that.
Right. Right. Very true.
When you start
Very
cutting down these places like that, like if we couldn't have got our military ships through the Panama Canal because they own both ends of it.
No, you're screwed then. If they have the
You're
Straits of
screwed.
Malacca, they have the Straits of the Panama Canal, and then and again, so it's all choke points. Choke points
Remember
matter so
that
much
woman
in
turned
strategy.
That boat sideways in the fucking Panama or the Suez Canal.
Right. But choke points matter so much in strategy, especially the flow of oil, the flow of goods, all those things like that, going through all these places.
There's a
lot.
There's a pipeline. So people don't realize that Saudi Arabia has a pipeline, like their East-West pipeline. They didn't Saudi didn't slow down shit. They're like, man, we'll just load y'all up on the other side.
They went the other side. Yeah, they went the other way. Yeah, they went the other way.
And so, we lost all of our footholds in Africa. Remember we had Djibouti?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You had Sinai?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had all these places at one time.
Yeah.
During the last administration, when we had guys that were stuck there in an African country, they were telling them, y'all have to leave now.
Right.
You know, we were getting booted out, and I was going and looking at the numbers of the crossings of immigration, and this is, I go back to this because of, I had a curiosity, and I wanted to see the census, but they only do a census every 10 years.
Right.
And what I did get was I was able to pull the data of the ethnicity in San Francisco. I want to see it from 2020 to 2024. It flip-flopped. It's 47% Chinese now and 21% white.
Where was this again? Where was it?
San Francisco. Remember when Xi Jinping came to the country and they cleaned the whole damn state up for him.
Yeah.
Our largest lithium deposit in the Salton Sea down there is what he came to see.
Mm-hmm.
And Newsom was going to sell it to him, which he couldn't go to jail. They got him on wiretap now. But anyway, China has been working if they could have taken control of all of the fucking straits, they lock us out of the world's economy, and they would take our place. You know, and that's the big deal about cutting their oil, because they're so dependent on it.
Yeah.
And the last point I'll bring up is with Iran. You know, the Kurds have always been allied to us, and we couldn't. And everybody's like, "Oh man, they're not going to help us this time." It's because a couple times we abandoned them when we got done, and then secondly, they made a deal with Russia. Now Russia has leverage over them because Russia controls all their infrastructure.
Yeah.
Same in Iraq.
Well, you know, there's a lot to consider there. There's a lot. We're not going to cover it all in one night tonight. So
kind of a base idea that how big it had gotten.
It's huge. It's huge. There's so much here. And to your point, Bobby, there's grand strategy at play. And there's grand strategy at play for sure. You know,
It's
and not
a chess game.
Yeah, it's a big chess game. There's a lot of second and third order effects. You know, as much as I say, well, I think we went in with flawed assumptions. I still do think we had flawed assumptions about the way
we don't
Iran
know much about what goes on in that country other than
about the way Iran would react to decapitation strikes. I think we did have flawed assumptions there. But other assumptions they have had that they didn't make public, but that I think that they're doing, which is problematic because there's a lack of communication. They didn't sell the story. They didn't tell allies about it. They didn't do a lot of things. But I do know that China is the main focus with a lot of these things that they're doing. You know, dominating the Western Hemisphere, making, you know, the whole Monroe Doctrine firm and solid in the Western Hemisphere, but then also making sure that we are preparing, not making China into the great enemy right now, but preparing so we don't have to. You know, so we're hedging a lot of our bets, so to speak. And so I understand what you're saying there. But let's transition out of this, man. We're gonna get moving on our next act.
He's
so
not gonna give me no Ukraine. I'm not a big Ukraine guy. But
yeah, no, we're gonna pass on Ukraine for tonight. We hit everything that everybody wanted to see right there in the poll, and we're gonna get right into our leadership lessons at South Park right now. So it's a moment y'all been waiting for. We're gonna hit some craziness. We got a lot of funny videos, because I always believe that laughter is a great medicine. It's the best medicine. So we're going to hit a couple funny videos here, have a good time, and we're going to kick everybody off on Saturday night with a good send-off. So let's go ahead and hit it. We got a little more good music we're going to play right here before we get up into this. Play a little country and western if I may do so myself.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to let you.
Got some stories carved into my bones. From 1,000 miles of gravel roads.
Right there.
This engine hums a freedom tune beneath a big old southern moon.
All right, here we go.
We're running free, yeah, wild and free. We're running free. That's how it's meant to be.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I see you, baby.
Are you making?
All right, here we go. And stand by for this. If you haven't seen this yet, I about fell out of my seat I hope you like it as much as I like it, but check this out. This is freaking hilarious.
Check it, West Side. This PLG representing with my man Kobe Bryant. Yo, respect. How many springs does an official bowl have in it?
How many springs? It doesn't have any springs in it.
Well, how does it bounce then?
It's air. There's air in the ball.
Well, there's air in the swim. How come the swim ain't bouncing?
Have you ever seen that one before, Bobby?
I've never seen that before.
So LEG is making a comeback. LEG's got, Sacha Baron Cohen's doing a comeback with LEG. He is going to have, I guess, another movie coming out, and I'm super excited about it. What's that?
So I live in Texarkana. Have y'all never heard about the story about when he come here and was
LEG?
talking about country guys and rednecks and stuff? They whipped his ass. I mean, dude, he did a comedy skit up there, and they drug him out of there. I mean, it was bad.
Is that Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yes.
They beat his ass?
Yes, they did.
Oh, my God. I mean, he is nuts, man. He's nuts. Like, he's...
I'm just telling you, there's some places you don't go and talk bad about folks.
Where, I'm just saying, like, what part of Texas was it in?
I live on the Arkansas and Texas state line.
Okay,
like
got
the
it.
city is split in half.
Yeah. That's a rough area right there for Sacha Baron Cohen to be in.
This is it's strategic. It's a four corners of 4 states.
Okay.
With railroads, and it hubs to Dallas, Oklahoma City, Shreveport, Little Rock.
Yeah.
And that's why we're building a new drone factory down here for 1 million drones a year. The Sky Foundry
Nice.
Act.
Nice. You gonna
Because
get you
we're
some of
sitting
that?
on a Jurassic, the purest lithium water in the world.
Okay. Nice. I have no idea. Is that are you going to be a part of that a little bit, you think, or what?
So there's so much opportunity. Me and Jake talked a little bit about it, and I was like, dude, RV park.
Nice.
Because they're gonna bring in
Is Jake
mass
far from you, or no? Is he pretty far from you?
Jake lives about 5.5, 6 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a big state.
Man, he's all about making a dollar. You know what I'm saying? If he sees
Oh,
potential.
for sure, man. For sure.
But it's what they did is it's called the Sky Foundry Act. So the lithium batteries all the way to the drone will be completely controlled within a 20-mile radius.
Nice. Okay.
And they got a goal of 1 million a year.
$1 million drones? $1 million drones?
It's the company I think won the contract is Red Cat.
Now, I'm going to say something that's probably going to hurt some feelings in my audience, but I know you guys know what happened. The Marine Scout Sniper MOS has been done away with, and now it's like a drone operator guy. Yes, Bobby. Yes.
I mean, I know the Army has one. It's like a 13 mic or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I personally would get interested into that if I was a guy that was coming in.
No, dude,
because
super
there's
cool.
so many applications outside the military for it.
Yep.
Surveying.
Yep.
You can what a survey team can do in a week, you can do in a day.
With a drone.
Yes.
A drone. Yeah.
And you can
No,
take
I
it off
agree,
layer
man.
by layer.
I totally agree. I think the drone. I mean, I think they should have added it and not taken away the Marine Scout snipers. I mean, my Marines out there,
the snipers
my jarheads out there.
undefeated, man.
I know you're dying right now, but it happened. So
The sniper's undefeated.
yeah, I mean, I agree. And it's always going to be useful. Yes, sure, the drone is like a modern sniper. I get what they're saying, but I mean,
It's not though, because you know that tech that we talked about last week with Jake,
Yeah.
and they had the invisible
Yeah.
cloaking.
Yeah.
So I went and pulled up I want to go listen to it again that I saw, because you can buy it yourself, retail.
Yeah.
And it blocks out thermal imaging and all.
Right.
So
Good
now
point.
it's transparent.
Yes, you're right. It's not.
And blocks out fucking
Yeah.
thermals. That's
Yeah.
the ultimate drone killer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I'll tell you what, man. One of my friends that's doing work out in Ukraine with drone tech and all this stuff, buddy of mine, former CAG guy, former Delta guy, he said if you can solve the counter drone problem, you'll make $1 billion. If you can
I
solve
believe I
counter
can.
drone, So any of you guys out there, if you can solve counter drone, remember, because I said it here, I get 10% of whatever you invent. And Bobby gets 10%. So we get 20%.
I'm gonna donate it.
I mean, I'll donate to myself and other people. but yeah, I mean, if you can solve counter drone, guys, that's where it's at right now. So, all right, let's get into this next clip, and then we'll talk about some more nonsense. I mean, honestly, I can't help myself. I'm on my LEG streak right now, guys, and it was just killing me. I laughed so hard. Watch this. Like, Ali G kills me, man. He kills me. He's like, you know, the vets. Weren't there a lot of Vietnam vets, a lot of vets in Vietnam? He's like, and this guy really thinks he's real. He's so frustrated. LEG's like killing him. He's like, this guy's never seen anything like this. Let's keep going. Look at the face. Look at his face, man. Look at this. I had to zoom in. He's like, he's had it. I try to zoom. He's freaking had it. He's like, who the hell is this? Did you ever see Trump with LEG? Trump is like, what is going on right now? He's like, okay, that's a very nice idea. He leaves. It's like, 20, 30 years ago. All right, check this out. Hold on. There's another part of this. You feeling this one, Bobby?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It reminds me of Vet TV.
Yeah.
I love me some Vet TV, dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to get this part. He takes him into the barn, and it's nuts. Hold on. This is good right here. Hold on. Let me find this part. I know some of you guys have seen this before, but I can't help it, man. I can't help this. It cracks me up so much. Okay, watch. Here we go.
This dude's trying to get it over.
He's trying. And LEG is convincing. Rutledge Zoo, obviously.
It just maybe reminded me, has anybody tried to get the Tiger King out of prison yet?
Man. Let's talk about Tiger King. Let's talk about Tiger King.
Out of prison, man. Let's write something fucking.
I mean,
get him on back out on the streets.
Tiger King was a strange cat. Very good show. Strange cat.
I lived next to Oklahoma. I remember when he was running for office. It was fucking hilarious.
And that king, Carol Baskins killed her husband. She killed him with a tiger.
They found him.
Oh, they found him alive?
Yeah.
No, did they? He tried to run away. He's like, I'm out of here.
He's like on an island somewhere or some shit.
Oh, my God, man. This is too funny. This is too damn funny. You've ever seen this before, Bobby?
Tiger King went hard, dude, during COVID.
He did go hard. Hey, give me a 1 in the chat if you've seen this LEG episode before where he's on the farm with the chicken. This guy gets broken. He can't believe this is an actual person. He thinks he's real. He doesn't know it's a spoof. It's actually hilarious. Oh, my God. Bobby, you've seen this one before or no?
No, I've never seen this guy before.
You haven't seen him? All right, I'm about to blow your mind, dude. I'm about to blow your mind. If you're ready for this, your mind's about to be blown. Chat, if you've seen it before, Matt? Okay. Chat, are you ready for this? Because I'm about to blow your mind. If you haven't seen this, this is very important for today's episode and the current arguments that Bobby and I are discussing, okay? This is a very powerful negotiation I'm going to play for you right now. All right, here we go. You ready? Check it out. Let's get ready for this. Okay, you have an ex-Mossad chief, Yassi Alfer, and Ghassan Khatib, former Palestinian minister, and they're going to have some strategic level negotiations here. Here we go. Holy crap.
Hey, piss him off.
He's going to get whacked after this. Pot agreed, man. I thank you very much, brother. Appreciate that so much. We're going to go ahead and hit you up right here with a big thank you. Thank you. And everybody's going to put their damn emoji hands together for Pot agreed for the Yu-Gi-Oh card super name. Big round of applause, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Stick around because I got some more videos, too. Thanks, man. It means a lot. I really appreciate your support. I'm going to read this from Pot agreed here. Ben, thank you for your wealth of knowledge. As always, I'll catch you in the next live. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for your support, too. Very generous of you. Appreciate it. All right, so let's watch. You're right, Bobby. He's going to they're going to catch him outside. They're going to catch him outside. I mean, he's nuts. This is Sacha Baron Cohen again.
He's done.
Hummus has nothing to do with Hamas.
Do you hear him laughing? The guy's dying laughing.
It's a food, okay?
Look at this guy's face. Look at this guy. He's had it.
He had to go.
Now it's a professor at Hebrew University and Adnan al-Husseini, Palestinian governor of Jerusalem. This is crazy. How did he get these people together? This is nuts. What? Bobby, have you seen this one?
Dude, I can't watch it. They're going to throw him off a fucking building.
They are going to throw him off a building. They are going to throw him off a building. Have you guys seen these things in the chat? Chat, have you guys seen it? Yeah, pager treatment. That's right. It's coming. It's coming, Keith.
I used to watch Mary King all the time.
He's nuts, man. Honestly, I can't believe he's doing this. I just found this today. I've never seen this before. I've never seen it. So I'm literally, guys, I'm reacting with you as I'm watching it. And as we do on our Friday show, now our Saturday show, because the War Room's back on Friday. So that's what's going down.
Is the War Room back?
I mean, it's not really the war room. It's just it's like the chain gang, the Four Horsemen, or whatever. We just got together, and I really started. It started when you, Jake, and I got together on Friday, and then it was going to be we were sending it around. I sent out a little message to Nate. Was like, hey man, you want to jump back in? Jay can't make it. Jay's working at night now in his business, so he can't come out.
I talk with Jay quite a bit.
Yeah, but Jay can't come out. So, but we're gonna move this one. We're here on Saturdays, and then we'll have fun. But yeah, I've never seen this before, everybody. I've never seen this. So Saturdays, this is what we're gonna do in our third act. And I got another one here. All right, I got another one here. Just some bloopers, some stupid bloopers. All right, Bobby.
No, I love them. I love funny shit.
Check this out. Check this out here. All right. Let's see.
That was gonna happen.
Oh my God.
Oh,
she got crushed.
And they land on the bank.
Oh man, that dude's. Oh, that had a freaking hurt. Did you see that? Oh my God, her legs are destroyed. Her legs are completely destroyed. Did you see this?
I'm not gonna say anything. I've done some bad ones.
Have you? I mean, I
jumped off a bridge one time that when I hit it destroyed my shoes.
Oh my God,
Like,
I gotta see this one.
Back to the top.
Hey man, hey Keith, I appreciate you, brother. Great to have you here, man. Welcome aboard. Check this out though. Look at this. Watch her legs. Oh my God,
knees.
This is terrible. Oh my God, this is a nut show. Oh my God, dude, that's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, I gotta rewind that one. This is terrible. This guy is he got messed up. So these people are getting messed up too.
Looks like they got diabetes as it is.
I mean, I know. Oh, it's terrible. And the dogs are like, oh, you want to play? Oh my God, it's terrible.
I think one of my favorite videos is the guy sitting on the toilet and the bear busts through the fucking back.
Is that AI or is that real?
Glass. And he's sitting on the toilet and this fucking bear is trying to get a deer in his bathroom.
Oh my God, man. Is that AI or is that real?
No, it was real. That's 100% real.
That's nuts. That is nuts. Can you, yeah, Jerky Boys from the 90s were nuts too, Paul. That's right. What's your worst one you've seen so far?
I've seen some pretty bad ones. I remember the guy that went out and put him, and people don't realize how big a polar bear is.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
And like
huge.
they're vicious.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, and a guy put himself in an encased thing out, and a polar bear shows up out there with him.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know how the hell he got out of it. Is what I want to know.
I don't know. How about on these? How about on these ones we're watching right now? Which one's the worst one?
Man, I've seen some pretty funny shit on here. Like,
yeah.
There's been some bad. I don't know how some of them lived through some of it.
No, I agree. There, let's watch this one. Oh my God, these people are just eating crap. Oh dang! Oh, she broke her. She had to break her shins. That's insane. What the hell? I gotta rewind.
Dude,
I didn't even get to see that one. She's lucky she didn't really go falling far. Oh.
I've ruined so many birthday parties now.
Oh, you know they're dead. They're done. That's not so bad. Oh my God. You got flicked.
I got a wild story about
Wait,
that.
Jessica,
too.
hold that shot for 1 second. Kiss it, Brianna. Kiss it. You okay?
Why are you doing this?
Oh, this is a good one too. This little kid. Oh, he eats it. How many times have I've done so many things like that stupid when I was a kid, man? My friends had a ramp. Dude, my friends had a ramp once. We had a ramp in our neighborhood.
Everybody had a ramp. With
I was the youngest kid. We had a double ramp. We had one going up, one going down. Yeah, you know it's already so stupid. I was the youngest kid. You know? I wasn't like some big BMXer. Everybody's jumping. And so I jumped and they decided to make it a bigger jump for me, moved the ramp out. Dude, I biffed it, front tire into the lower ramp. I just remember seeing, my face right in the ramp, destroyed.
Man, you remember the 10 speeds with the little skinny tire?
For sure, yeah.
Well, those don't go up on curbs.
They don't have them anymore.
Well, they don't go up on curves.
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm like pedaling this damn thing down through there fast as hell, switching gears, thinking I'm gonna go up on a curve, and I mean it come to a halt.
Yeah.
I mean, it tore my knees all to pieces. I was road rashed in the face.
You remember being a kid and you'd fall off a bike or something and you'd stop yourself with your hands and you get gravel in your hands. You'd be like, your hands are like shaking.
I fell out of the back of the damn truck one time going down that way.
Oh, man, that's
and
terrible.
I remember my feet hitting the ground, and I know I did at least 4 backflips in the air before I landed. And it took all the hide off my back. And I remember my dad telling me he had pour peroxide on it. And
it took all your skin off your back?
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap,
I've had some bad road rashes.
Dude, that's nuts.
I got ran over by an illegal on a motorcycle one time.
Did you? What?
In El Paso.
How do you know he's an illegal?
Because they arrested him because he didn't have no driver license.
I didn't know if he was wearing like a shirt or like.
No. I mean, he literally ran a red light while I was doing about 70 and hit me broadside.
Did he? Oh my God, dude.
I was a block from the house.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And
Keith, I see you pedaling downhill and chain broke some of my ancestors, dude. I hear you, man.
I try to tell people, I'm like, dude, when you get in a real bad situation like that, time will slow down.
Yeah.
And you have so many thoughts.
Yes,
and all I
do.
could see was that bike flipping behind me.
Brother, I got to tell you a funny story. Remember I was telling you about like in your hands, you're like, So my son, my oldest son, and I remember him like wiping out, stuff like that. And I was always like trying to teach him, jump up, just jump right up, get back off the ground. And I'm like, all right, it's okay. You're okay. Get up, buddy. Just, just shake it off. Get up. You're all right. And so one day we got this like little mini bike. We won like in a contest. And it's a little like, I don't know, like mini bike, electric mini bike or something. This is years ago. I'm living in Oceanside, California, stationed at Camp Pendleton. For all my jarheads out there will know. And I got this little like driveway going down to the main street, California style. And I start this thing in the back of the garage. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Evel Knievel. I'm gonna freaking torque this thing up.
Evel Knievel was amazing.
Oh, he's amazing. He's all doped out too, man. He like broke every bone in his body. You ever see him wipe out at some of the jumps? He's like flops around. He's in the casino later that night. Dude. But my son's like, yeah, Dad, do it. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna show him how it's done. I fire this thing up, everybody. I kid you not. I fire this thing up. I'm like, Rrr. I fly out of the garage, fly down. I fly down the freaking driveway. The front tire falls off. I'm not kidding you. The front freaking tire flies off. I see in slow motion, to Bobby's word, what he's saying. I'm like, oh no. And I see the tire fly off. The 2 front forks go key into the driveway, sparks everywhere. I see the road coming up fast for my face. I stop with my hands, scrape the crap out of my hands, gravel dug in. I get up, my hands are shaking. I'm like, And what do I see? My son comes over, all happy. Hey, Dad, you're okay. Shake it off. You're fine. And he put it right back on me. You're fine, Dad. Jump right up. You're okay. I was freaking hurting so bad. It was terrible. So Keith, when you talk about that pedaling downhill, a chain broke. This is the same thing, man. That was a done deal.
I had to hide the motorcycle crash from the Army, and I broke one of my ankles. So I'm still doing my runs, but I had a splint inside there sucked up really tight to hold it in place. In my boots, I would tie up really tight and try to make myself walk normal because I was starting to get a pigeon toe, like
right.
To compensate. It took a while to get it going, but I mean, I didn't have a license. I didn't have, it signed off on base, none of that stuff. I just bought it.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to be on them.
No, exactly. Yeah. You couldn't be on it. Yeah.
I'm an NCO and I'm not following the rules. I'm over here crippled. So I struggled through that, but I made it.
Oh my God, man, that is nuts. Well, everybody's saying over here, I've been frozen. At least you got to hear my story if you didn't get to see it. But
can I share my last piece?
Yeah, man, send it. Share it.
So this is serious. And I don't usually disclose information, but like Ben talked about earlier about hurting and taking care of yourself. So I've been having problems with some neck pain, and I don't think too much of it, but it just kept going harder, and it was worse and worse and worse. As long as I can still move around, I'll go to the doctor. Well, the night it didn't finally got so critical, my girlfriend takes me to the doctor, the ER. They do a CAT scan on me, you know, and they load me up full of drugs, and they're like, hey, man, you got 8 blow discs, 4 in your neck, 4 in your lower back. I already knew about the ones in the lower. I didn't know how to in my neck. I go home and go to bed. I wake up the next morning, and I'm a quadriplegic. Like, I literally had not a sensation in my body from the neck down. And you hear about this, but you never can understand it until you experience it. And where I want to go with this is, it's not a reality till it happens to you. But I have so many people that I help do things with. They tell me how great of friends we are. I've known them for years and years and years. And I won't go into how I had to get a phone. Like, I chinned myself over there to it, you know. No matter how hard I screamed or strained, I could not move an extremity.
That's insane, man.
And I started trying to take in, is this permanent? Because nothing was changing. Nobody that I called that was my friend come to help me.
That's insane.
They left me laying face down with no extremity movements because one of them said he was going to go to the casino and he'll swing by tomorrow or something. And I'm like, 120-pound girl took all she could do to pick up a 220-pound guy and try to drag him. Because, I mean, I'm just dead. I mean, there's nothing. I had nothing.
Right.
Luckily, they were able to get me and told me what had happened and that I need neck surgery. And basically, the way I fell asleep, my spinal cord was being compressed and it wasn't getting blood to the rest of my body.
Right.
So I'll never invest any time in people again. You know, you gotta cut it off somewhere. No matter how much they tell you they're your friend or how much fun they may be to hang out with, when the cards are down, nobody's coming for you. You know, so if it ain't your family, and I got guys in the military friends, and I'll just say this: Jake checked on me nonstop. You know, and me and Jake aren't lifelong friends like y'all are, whatever, but he was concerned. And I knew to call him because Jake's a smart guy and he always has answers. It was just a whole lot to take in, and I just thank God so much that he gave, I don't know if he was wanting to scare me to, hey, you need to take better care of yourself instead of sucking it up all the time, the way I was taught. Because it doesn't go away. Like, you can mask it, but you can't make it go away.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share that with everybody, man, because that was like...
I appreciate you sharing that, Bobby. Thank you.
In my life.
Thanks for sharing that, Bobby. And the point, the takeaway for everybody is to take care of yourself, take care of things. Don't ignore pain.
Don't take your feet for granted.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take anything for granted. If you wake up and you're in a foul mood, just stop yourself and say, man, I'm still alive.
Amen to that. Every day started off with gratitude. Every day. You got to start off with gratitude. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, man. Thank you so much. Cody Fisher, I haven't seen you in a while, brother. Good to have you here. Bobby, thank you so much. Everybody give a damn round of applause for Bobby for sharing something real and something big tonight. You know, he told me about it before, and I told him, brother, you share as much as you want to or little. And, I appreciate that.
Compartmentalized because the world will use injury as weakness. They'll see that as weakness.
Yeah, but not here, man. We got you. We know you're a warrior.
But I take it back to like a dog. A dog can't show weakness.
Well, you know what, though? This is not. When you show weakness, though, here, you're passing on a lesson, so it all has meaning. The things you go through, the hardship you goes through. And, guys, this is a good lesson for everyone. The suffering we go through, the pain and suffering that we go through, it has meaning when you derive lessons and you pass the lessons on. Bobby just passed on something really difficult and hard and scary that happened to him yesterday.
It was so terrifying.
Yeah. So big round of applause for Bobby, everybody. Dan, put the hands together for him. And I appreciate you, Bobby. Thank you so much, man. And thank you. And I want to say, too, what a damn stand-up guy and a badass. He said yes and came on the show today. Just we coordinated this morning or this afternoon, only a couple hour notice. I said, dude, are you sure you're okay to do this? And he's like, yep, like show must go on. We're going to do it. Here I come. And so I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you being tough and strong and showing up for all of us.
When Jay introduced me to all you guys, I had so much fun to be able to talk to like-minded individuals.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun last week, too. Last week was a blast, too.
And it is fun. And we don't always have to agree on everything.
Right. Exactly.
Because it doesn't have, it's just because we don't agree on one thing doesn't mean I have to hate you. And just because you don't like somebody don't mean I have to
exactly.
So, and in that sense, I mean, I'm like, get over it. Nobody gives a shit.
That's right. That's right. Exactly, Lady Ann, ferocious optimist. That's it. Exactly. Bobby is a ferocious optimist.
Awesome being optimistic, and just like I've heard it from Jake, and I know for myself, if I hang around a successful group of people, I will be successful. I will play to their level.
Amen to that.
If I go down to the drags, and you see it in football every year, a D1 top 10 school lose to a D2 because they're playing at their level.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Don't play down to them. Don't play down. Play up. Yeah, I agree with you, man. 100%. Well, guys, this has been a
thought of ways to make myself valuable to a group of people that are already successful. What do I have to offer that they're going to want me with them?
Well, you got a lot to offer, brother. That's for damn sure. So it's I'm glad you're here, and I really appreciate you sharing the story and telling us all about that. I know it's hard, and I didn't want to push you on it earlier.
No,
but I appreciate you.
That's something
that
I wanted to be told, because a guy that calls me his best friend all the time wouldn't turn around 15 miles to come get me in a state that I was completely helpless.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
And I didn't know what to do at that point, and I just needed some guidance. And I'm holding a screw in my mouth to dial a phone.
That's nuts, man. Do you have an iPhone, Bobby? Do you have an iPhone or no?
Yeah, man, it was hell.
You couldn't talk to Siri to dial anything, or?
I mean, like you got to have the button on, or I don't know how that Siri stuff works.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the bad part, I'll say it all. I was bleeding because I busted my head falling off the bed and inching myself off.
That's nuts.
Well, at that point, I done got past, and like, what are you going to do now, Bobby? You got to problem solve this shit somehow. And luckily, I was able to figure out something. I got blood all over the screen, and y'all know how it is. If you get water on your screen, it don't want to work.
Oh, 100%.
Somewhere licking the screen,
Yeah.
And I found a screw to put in my mouth.
That's crazy, man.
But
That's a nuts story. But the guys, and Bobby told me the compounding effect of like nerves he didn't take care of. And I say he didn't take care of it. Like things catch up to you. I've done it too. But if you can, you got to control what you can control. Control the controllables. If you're feeling something like you're getting numbness somewhere, get it checked out. You got to get it checked out. Do what it takes to get it checked out, because it might end up in a compounding effect like this where, it gets bad. It gets bad.
I can't explain it to anybody, because I said, I woke up and I said, I don't hurt anywhere. And in the mornings, everybody, you get up, you got your groans and stretches and stuff. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. And then I tried to move.
That's rough, brother. That is rough. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that with us. And guys, take that with you. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your night. And Bobby, again, I appreciate you being here, man. So much fun. Where can they find you again and get more of your wisdom and more of your knowledge and more just everything of you?
I'm fixing to record as soon as we get done with this one.
Okay.
And what I want to know from the crowd, because you get a big base of information already from these guys. I love to disseminate information, but I also like to give people a place where they can go and study themselves. I believe it means more when you're able to find it yourself.
For sure. For sure.
And I really push people. And everybody thinks I'm like, know all this insight. And I'm like, no, I go read. There's details.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
You
Well, guys, check him out. Follow Bobby on Instagram.
The committee.
Y'all
gonna see the committee this week.
Awesome. And follow him on Instagram. Get over there. And Bobby, you're going to give him a lot of updates on Instagram as well, too, right?
Oh, 1,000%. And you're going
Okay,
to see
perfect.
nonsense on there, too. Like, I do nonsense.
That's all right. I was just doing nonsense in the third act. This is a lot of nonsense.
What,
You guys remember,
the death beam.
don't take yourself too serious, okay? You take yourself too seriously, you know, I think you tend to close up a little bit. You got to be able to laugh. You got to laugh at things that happen in life. You know, the good things, they're going to be bad things. They're going to be things that are indifferent. But I'm telling you what, you know, one thing I know we learned is that laughter carries you through a lot, and it helps to crack the ice. It helps to keep you going. You know, and then obviously being ferociously optimistic. You know, set your mind on what you need to get done, and get it done every day. Don't be like Sacha Baron Cohen though, and get beaten up in Texarkana. All right, everyone. Like I always say, make yourselves better, make the world better. Have an amazing, amazing Saturday night and Sunday. And I'll see you all on Monday, and go get yours. Let's go. I'm going to put up this music here, and we're going to pump it out, baby. Yeah! All right. Woo! All right, Bobby. I'm going to camera off, baby.
Hit. Let the energy ignite. Take it to the red line. Raise the pressure, raise the tide. Raise the pressure.